There you go. That's how we start the show. I'm talking to Jamey Jasta and Jim Norton, and then the song ends. We pick these songs, and then I want to enjoy them, and then we're like chit-chatting.
It was good, though. It was good. It was really
like
good.
that?
Yeah, I love good Sabbath cover.
Yeah, that was great.
That was Cake doing War Pigs, and that's from Hopscotch0623 on the Twitter. I'm paying attention. Thank you for the request to open the show today. I love Cake.
Yeah, I don't know them that well, but that song certainly got me to like them. That's how you get me to like a band. If they cover Sabbath,
Yeah,
I'm with them.
I was a little nervous. I'm like, I hope Jimmy likes this cover of Black Sabbath.
I
you
very
never
rarely
know.
hear a bad one, and even when it's not great, I still appreciate the fact that they're tributing Sabbath. So I almost never get mad at a cover.
Yeah, they made it their own a little bit, adding some of those horns and stuff.
That's the sign
Cake
of a
is
good
known,
cover for sure.
Known for. No, they do a great cover of. I'm embarrassed to say this, but I will survive.
Really?
Who did that? The disco. I will survive.
Donna Summer?
Was that Gloria Gaynor?
I was petrified. Yeah,
Gloria Gaynor.
Gloria Gaynor. I pulled that out of my ass. Cake does an amazing version of this song. Have you ever heard it?
No.
We might have to play it. I mean,
Cake is great.
They really, really get into it.
You got to see the video where they're playing the fans their new CD. Well, at the time it was new, but it's probably like 8 or 9 years old now. But
yeah,
they play the fans their music, and some people are like, "What the fuck is this?" And other people are digging it. But it was a good concept for a video because they didn't have, I guess, a big budget to do the video at the time.
Yeah, they went on the street.
Yeah, right.
It was a great video.
Oh, you saw it, Travis?
Yeah, it's old, but it's really funny.
So what? They're just playing for random people?
I think it was back when like Discmans were still around because they were just like giving people headphones.
Oh, geez, that's not 8 years ago.
Well, do you remember when everything kind of switched away from like they were alternative, right? Or what was their genre?
I would say they were in the alternative category.
Yeah, No Phone is the if you want to check it out on YouTube is the video for Cake, and they just show the people's like real reactions to it.
Really?
Oh wow!
But if your label was cutting your budget and you needed to do something creative that would get people talking about it, that's cool.
What a good idea for a video.
So what? They played the song was No Phone, and then they just gave a whole bunch of people headphones and then just taped their natural reaction. It's pretty good, actually. We're looking at it now.
The sign language reporter. They actually have to do that at shows by law. Like, they have to have someone. I remember at Ozfest they had one where we had to give them our lyrics, and they had to sign our lyrics during the set.
By law?
Yeah, some states have it. So
isn't that only if someone's deaf is in the, doesn't somebody have to request that? Because I've had that on stage too, where it's a deaf interpreter. Someone's going to be there, and it's the American with Disabilities Act. They have to have someone there.
Yeah. I've had that at multiple shows and then I'm like, where's the lyrics? And you got to go on Google and print them out and because they have to.
All right, I got to be the guy. If you're deaf, why are you going to rock shows? Well, someone explain this to me.
Well, on the first Slipknot tour we did, there were so many deaf and blind people that loved the shows. Like especially the deaf people, I guess, hear the bass or hear some of the low end.
They feel it, right?
And they love it. And it was really moving to meet them at some of the meet and greets and stuff. And then, of course, with people who are blind, they can still hear and they have other senses I
understand the blind. I don't understand the deaf thing. But I guess you're explaining it. Your whole body's probably vibrating, and that's just incredibly stimulating, maybe.
People were having really moving, intense reactions to Slipknot who were hearing impaired. I don't know how deaf they were, but they were definitely deaf.
Right. That's kind of interesting. Yeah. I didn't know that.
We got emails when I was doing the Borgata one time, like the American, we have to do this. Well, I didn't mind it. Like for a comic, it's not, please,
sure.
All you do is
and you
make
get to
them
fool
say
around.
horrible shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course. Make them talk about ass eating.
You should have them teach you the signs for certain. Yeah, what is the sign for ass eating?
Are you saying you changed your set a little bit?
Oh boy, did I! People love it too, and they're actually good sports. They know that what you're doing, but you have to address it.
Yeah,
it's right there.
They're probably used to it. God, here we go. Another comic wants me to sign ass eating stuff.
I gotta fuck with this person now.
Yeah, exactly. Too good. Jamey Jasta in studio. How have you been there, buddy?
Been good, yeah, no complaints. Did a little tour of Europe, did a little vacation with my daughter in between.
Since the last time I saw you?
Yeah.
I feel like you were in a couple weeks ago.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't I? But that was when?
Maybe a month ago, whatever.
Okay.
But you went to Europe and...
yeah, took my daughter to London, went to Zurich, played with Limp Bizkit, did a show in Switzerland. Yeah, I've been And now I've just been doing podcasts since I've been home. And we leave for tour on the 23rd. We're going to Ozfest.
Wow.
Last Sabbath, Black Sabbath, California show.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I wish I could see them again. I saw them 3 times on the tour. I would love to see them once more. So good.
You've seen them 3 times on this tour?
Twice in February at the Garden.
All right.
And then once in Jersey when they just came.
Nice.
And you don't mind the same set list, right?
No, I didn't care.
Behind
the Wall of Sleep, Hand of Doom. I was so happy.
I know.
They don't move it around a little bit?
No.
Change out? No.
Once in a while on the tour, they would switch. I've seen it where they'll do. There's a couple of songs, the variations. But this is what I saw in February, but I was fine. Ozzy sounded even better now than he did in February.
No kidding.
I guess he's had a rest.
Yeah, he's like really improved. People have said that, I guess, over the last couple months, the shows have been getting better and better. So, I mean, that's really good to see because that's what you want to see, especially if these are the final shows.
You think they are? You think this is finally it?
Although Tony, I think, is in remission with his cancer. I was so happy when I heard that. He was, he's okay. For now, he's good.
That's great. Good to hear.
I was debating flying to London for the last show.
Oh, you got to if you could figure it out.
I just don't know exactly when it is.
That's something you should never debate. I think.
It depends on when it is.
You've been a Sabbath fan your whole life. I understand if you have things that you have to do, but if you got a clear schedule, that's not a debate. You get that ticket.
When is the last Black Sabbath show?
Yeah, look that up. You should go to Birmingham, right?
That's what I mean.
Oh my God! Yeah. Of course you got to do that.
That's their home, though. I mean, that's.
What's the guest list going to be like for that?
You wouldn't.
Everybody coming out of the woodwork, cousins and
family,
uncles.
old people that you know from the old neighborhood.
That would be. Looks like February 4th. Is that?
Oh, is it already in? Oh, I didn't know it was next year. Okay.
I believe it's February 4th. There, Jimmy.
All right.
I think you got to do that.
It's debatable. It's debatable. What night of the week is that?
You watch from the crowd?
Always.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know if I'm allowed to stay on the side of the stage. I have a badge and I never know where I'm allowed to go. I'm always a panicky Pete, fucking Samuel the shy sea lion douche. I never talk to anybody. I just kind of like.
And then sometimes those badges mean nothing.
Yeah, and you get smoked when you walk up and they're like, nah, you don't have the right one.
Yeah, I know. It's always my greatest fear is I'm going to be exposed.
Jimmy gave me one of my biggest laughs at a show. We were in Boston for it was Stone Temple Pilots. And we were interviewing the band, not Scott Weiland because he couldn't get up for it. And but we had these badges that we could go anywhere, and we were on the stage. And then Scott insisted that everyone be removed from the stage before he would come out. Yeah. And Jimmy lost his shit.
I was so annoyed.
I don't blame you, but I found it. I don't know. I found it funny watching Jimmy lose his mind. I was mad too because I'm a huge STP fan. I've seen him many, many times over the years, and I'm thinking, holy shit, we could see him from the stage. You know,
it's better to watch from the crowd.
Where did we end up watching them? I think they gave us seats.
I don't think I really watched. I never cared about the band. I was more annoyed that the guy fucking didn't come for the interview and we waited and waited.
Like, he did that to me too on Headbangers. We went to DC. Like, we flew all down there to the 930 Club and we're set up down there. But Slash and Duff and everybody else did it.
I think that was the whole reason we went there because they told us we would be talking to Scott Weiland.
Right, and then he bails. That was like that was the big deal with Headbangers. Right?
And I like the DeLeo brothers. They're all right to talk to. We've done that over the years, but
weren't they an Audio Slave too?
No, they were in. They had another band that's
with
really
the filter
good.
Guy.
Oh yeah.
What am I thinking? We had them in years.
With the filter guy.
No, what's the side project of DeLeo brothers?
They were trying to get it going with Richard Patrick. And we had him on at K-Rock.
Army of Anyone.
Yes.
Right, wow.
Very good. And they performed live for us, and it was a complete and utter clusterfuck. I remember that one because they're all looking at me and all of us, obviously. And they're like, what the fuck? It sounded horrendous.
Tom Morello was in there? No, he's Audio Slave.
That's
okay, I'm mixing them both up. Who else did Army of Anyone?
It was Richard Patrick.
It was Dean and Robert, and then Ray from Korn and Richard from Filter.
Right. It didn't really go anywhere, but I remember kind of liking what they were doing. I couldn't name any of the songs at this point in time, but
yeah, no, they were great. I think for whatever reason, when you have a side project, the fans of the original band sometimes they can look at it as like cheating on the main band, and for whatever reason, people didn't latch onto that one that much. But it was a solid record. It was a good band. But with Stone Temple Pilots, I mean, think about how many hits. When we played with them, I was hearing songs. I was like, I didn't even know they sang that. And it was the whole the whole set, I would say it was probably 18 songs and 17 of them were huge hits.
Wow. Yeah. They have quite the playlist. Are they going to move on without Scott Weiland? There's rumors they're going to get somebody?
Yeah, Chester's not doing it anymore. No, and Chester wasn't even that bad. I watched a couple of videos of Chester doing it, and I know people probably...
Chester who?
Chester from Linkin Park.
Chester Bennington? What the hell is this? Yeah, Bennington, thank you.
Chester who? Not the Chester you want to say.
Oh, okay.
But
I liked
he was
it.
Good.
The problem I have with that type of thing is like when the vocalist, his voice is so, distinct, it's tough to have somebody, step into that role, I think.
Well,
that's why the Alice in Chains thing, I know they're doing a very good job in harmonizing and stuff, but
he's great.
I know everyone says that, and what I hear, I do like, but
Live with
Lane
the two
Staley's
records.
fucking voice is just amazing to me.
It is. He's one of a kind. But listen to those records with William and just give him a real chance. Some of the lyrics are amazing. The melodies are incredible. There's the song. These are good albums too. It's not like they're just making these like 2 singles for rock radio.
Yeah,
and then the rest of the album is filler. It's solid. Like Black Give Wings to Blue, and then Devil Put Dinosaurs Here is the other one.
I got to give it another shot, I guess.
I was always good at writing rock lyrics, but no one would ever sing them.
Yeah,
yeah.
You got one? Or?
I tried so hard to get in the studio yesterday to play music, and I couldn't get an engineer, and then I couldn't get a guitar player.
Oh, it was Jamey.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so.
I was listening in the car. I had to pull over. I started laughing. And Cody Garbrandt, great. That was a great show.
Yeah, he's great, right?
guest. Really cool backstory. I didn't know. But.
He was pretty amazing to listen to. Wow, Yeah, he was unbelievable.
But
we're talking about Jimmy's song that he did yesterday.
I'm going to remix it.
Sure. It's an important song. It's a song of rebellion.
Do you need more lyrics?
No, because I haven't.
You got enough.
Yeah, because I'm going to stretch it out, and I'm going to put effects on it, and I got all these ideas. I took notes.
Oh my God, really? I can't wait to hear this. Do we have the original, Travis?
The original's a hit already, but I mean,
if you want to hear it, yeah.
Yeah, we do want to hear it. What happened was Jimmy did this for us yesterday, and then Jamey Jasta from Hatebreed sent a text to Jimmy like, I think I could do something with it.
Well, Travis, you should send Jamie the original file.
Yeah, I need the acapella.
Yeah,
because you're hearing the radio version. There's such beauty and liquidity in the actual in the actual version.
You really need the high quality file.
Yeah. It's good technology.
It sounds
it's not a thing.
It sounds Rage Against the Machine inspired.
Yeah,
dare I say?
It's very rebellious. You want to hear it?
Oh boy, do we want to hear it.
This is a song of rebellion. I don't care what you tell me, I'll never simmer down. I don't care what you tell me, I'll never simmer down. I don't care what you tell me.
We're going to have the big guitar hold out, and it's going to drums are going to kick in.
This is going to be a hit.
I don't care what you tell me, I'll never simmer down. Don't care what you tell me, don't want to simmer down. Don't care what you tell me, I ain't going to simmer down.
So I'm going to transcribe those riffs those little riff takes that you had in there. I'm going to transcribe those.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. Now watch, a listener's going to beat me to the punch because they probably have access to it.
I'm sure they're working on it as we speak.
Yeah, it's a song of it's like a youth movement song that they use on college campuses because they've been told to simmer down and they just won't.
Is it kind of a protest song? Maybe
it really is.
Could it be a protest song?
Yes, it's a protest against the simmering down and things of that ilk.
Of that nature.
According to Lyle,
you just needed to boil over.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
And you know what? You have to do that sometimes.
It's the times they are a-changing, but for today. You don't like technology?
I don't like any words that you make out of my last name.
Why?
Because they're not true.
Yeah, but it's...
What does knowledge even mean?
Technology.
Technology sounds legit,
yeah. On your phone. It's Tef's phone.
Tefted it up like
Tefted it up.
This Stone Temple Pilots video that you got paused, is that the one with Chester singing? Because he does sex type thing, and I thought he nailed it. I thought he sounded great.
Yeah, he definitely did a good job for the DeLeo brothers.
People, maybe because he's the guy from Linkin Park, people don't give him enough cred, but I did a benefit show with him where he was singing like Zeppelin and all these other bands, and he has a really good range, and he sounded great.
I like his vocals. I wasn't a huge Linkin Park fan, but there's a few songs in there I appreciate.
Oh, they got hits. That first one, you can't deny the hits.
Let me hear this for a second.
You hear someone chanting, "You're not Scott"?
Yeah.
Well, what do they want? Scott's dead. What dicks.
What dicks.
You can't win.
When the guy dies, what do you yell? He's still yelling at Brian Johnson when he does dirty deeds?
This was
before he died, though. So, so the guy does have a point.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Is he standing like Scott?
Oh, yeah.
Hold on. Turn on the fucking house lights. Get over here, man. Come here.
What?
Oh, they're kicking this guy out. They're
I want this motherfucker out of here.
What?
I want this motherfucker out of here, right here. Get him the fuck out of here.
I never saw this
right
before.
There. Get him the fuck
Did you know what you were playing?
Get out of my show, you dickhead.
You stumbled upon greatness.
Get out of my fucking show, you douchebag. Get the fuck out.
What's the guy doing?
He was going, "You're not Scott."
Vibe, man. Jesus Christ. You come to a fucking show.
You're really his friend. You'll go with him, whoever was there, you fucking knuckleheads.
Language.
Knuckleheads.
They take the fucking mic from the singer.
Yeah.
Hey, let me go to your one. I can tell you're not fucking JFK, you fucking knucklehead.
Wow, knucklehead. Watch out, guys.
Fucking home run.
Now, boys. Can't we all just get along?
Something happens when I get back on the East Coast. You guys know, right? Fuck.
Wasn't the song drowning out that douchebag?
I guess they could hear it.
Right?
Especially in Irving Plaza where it's...
Here's all I have to say. Fuck your motherfucking ass, motherfucker.
That is wild. I'd never seen this before.
No.
You fucking paid to be here. I think that's fucking hilarious.
It's a terrible job of riffing. Holy shit.
Well, what do you say? Like, yeah, I'm not Scott, but I came to rock.
But now they don't know what to do. It just fucked up the whole...
That's when you go...
The whole rhythm of the show. Yeah, you gotta go hard now, right?
Right?
But look, I don't know. I mean, at this point, Scott Weiland was still alive, and you know, they weren't getting along, the Scott Weiland and the DeLeo brothers.
No.
And the DeLeo brothers are a bit on the sensitive side.
Are they?
As far as the whole Scott Weiland thing goes.
It's like, sir, it's just a band.
Yeah.
Relax.
Well, imagine the shit they had to put up with and the opportunities missed and the constant just struggle of dealing with somebody that, you know.
But that was his genius. That's why he was so creative there, Jamey Jasta.
I know, but you gotta...
But then the DeLeos are thinking, holy shit, you know what we could have done if this guy, you know, stayed more sober.
Plus,
right?
it just gets draining, I'm sure. All your stuff rely on a guy who may or may not be fucked up or may not show up. Mm-hmm. I get why that would be enraging.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for that. I'm kind of glad he booted him out like that. Good for him.
In the middle of the song like that?
It was weird to see him grab the mic from the singer. Like, that was kind of rude.
Yeah.
But that guy must have been much louder than we could hear.
Yeah.
And have been fucking it up. And he just sees this guy being rude. And he's just like, enough.
He probably finally just had it.
Yeah, all that anger at Scott, he just took out on the guy.
I know.
That's in the audience.
That's what I see. And Jamey Jasta, you nailed it. You go, you hear that guy? He said, "You're not Scott."
Wow, I did not hear that.
I heard it, but here, play this out. I want to see how they got back into their show.
Does he keep riffing? I hope.
Fucking play that song again.
Oh, they started over?
Oh, it would have been better if they picked it up from the middle.
Yeah, right into sex type thing.
Maybe the best
Go hard.
I've ever had as a performer.
Start the show from the beginning. Somebody yelled. It's funny. Start the show from the beginning.
All right, then they go back into...
No matter how witty you are being in a band, there's someone in the audience who's more witty than
they have
you.
nothing to lose. There's fucking 5,000 people around them, and they can try 30 lines until one hits.
Yep.
Have you ever had one of those moments, Jamey Jasta, off stage?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. We actually, when we first toured with Danzig, he would say, hey, if anybody's, in the crowd, like, fucking with me, just go in there. And we would, like, there was I think it was Columbus, Newport Music Hall, where, people, it's weird. Sometimes people show up and pay just to heckle the bands. And Danzig was like that. He was one of those characters where people would show up, they'd pay the money, and they just want to get thrown out for something. They still do it to him. But yeah, so this guy was doing all sorts of shit in the crowd, and we went in and just grabbed him and dragged him out.
Really?
And I think that really endeared us to him, because after that, he would give us all his rider stuff, like from the dressing room, and at the end of the night, because we were in a van sleeping on top of the gear on a mattress, and he saw that.
God.
He'd give you the food and stuff.
Yeah, he'd give us like all the booze.
To carry you guys.
Yeah.
It's funny. There's footage of Paul Stanley too. He's one of those assholes with a laser pointer. And what are you doing at a Kiss concert? But he stops the guy.
Oh, can we see that?
Yeah.
Oh, it's great.
I've never seen the laser pointer thing.
Yeah, I got heckled one time. I got yelled at for heckling one time in a fucking concert.
You got to get his CD with all his outtakes.
Wait, you were. What happened?
Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I was
what happened?
I was shouting things at the band.
What band was it? First of all,
it was Metallica.
Metallica. What were you shouting at Metallica?
That's not very loud. They stopped the concert.
They stopped over that, huh?
Yeah, I pretty heard it.
What did they say to you?
All right, we'll turn it up.
Okay.
Not a good story.
Not a great story. I've never seen the laser pointer thing.
I think this is the one. There's a couple of different ones probably, but this one.
Woman! In case you have any doubt, you are definitely a rock city. And if y'all want to see me shove a laser pin up some motherfucker's ass, it's that guy right there.
See.
Now, why don't you go out? Because your mom's probably waiting with the car running. I know it's a big night for you. You may have had your first beer. But we're here to have a good time. And you're not going to wreck it for anybody.
I'm not even thinking of this one. I'm thinking of another one.
No, yeah, there's another one.
Turn on your XXX channels and pull out your Playboy magazines. But don't come back to see us.
Is that a bad slam?
Terrible.
Is that a bad slam?
He's just inviting more of it. That's the problem. When you make a whole spectacle, you're just inviting more of it for the rest of the tour.
I think he's going to be known as the guy that gets a lot of laser pointers in his face, right?
I love that he brings up the Playboy magazine like anybody in 2016 still jerks off to a mag.
Yeah.
I think it's this one. I think it's you can zip past Peter Criss or whoever that is singing. Where's the one where he's pointing at the guy?
He's like, "Don't make me come out there and see you."
Did you say that? Gene. Gene's now pointing. They're all pointing. Yeah, pick it up here. See if this is the one.
When Craig Gass gets in here, he'll do the whole.
Oh yeah,
he can do the whole scene reenacted.
Laser right over there. Bring that guy up here with the laser.
Is this the one, Jimmy?
Yeah, I think so. The whole band
is just pointing at you.
Kiss is pointing at someone.
Stopping the entire show.
Oh, my God.
You think that's bad if the whole band is pointing at you?
He's still trying to get it out. Look, see the laser hitting? He's like still trying to.
That would be my boyhood dream and nightmare. They're all pointing at me, but for the wrong reasons.
Who's got the laser? Who's got the laser over here? The one with the white t-shirt.
And that's Ace, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy right over there. Now, if you bring the laser out one more time, listen to me. Hey, schmuck.
Yeah, that's it.
Take the laser out one more time. I'll put it right up your ass. Promise.
That's it. That would make me want to do it. Just to have Paul put something in my hiding.
Go out and get that guy. This guy's such a big man over here.
He Ace in the back.
Just pacing.
Give me a shot of beer.
Ace
What the fuck?
What the fuck's
going on?
What, asshole? What? Put it in your pocket or I'll put it up your ass.
These people with the lasers really are dopes. You know what it is? I think they just want to touch the performer with something.
Yeah.
Some of them are being dicks and some of them...
Have you had a good time tonight?
It goes right into the banter voice.
Yeah. There's a lot left in this video.
Yeah, but that was enough. That's all they did on him, I think.
Oh, okay. I'm assuming that maybe the guy pointed the laser again. I think I would point the laser again.
Just to spite
I'd be scared
him.
of somebody in the crowd jumping on you.
Sure.
I saw one clip of somebody. This is where bands can be crazy. It was Guns N' Roses or somebody. They were saying if they do that again, kick the fucking shit out of them. I forget. It's like you can't say that. No. You're gonna get somebody killed in the crowd doing that.
And then you got a major problem on your hands.
It's interesting. That's one thing comedians don't have to deal with. You know, it's funny. I always bitch like, you know, comics get yelled at, but in music, you're lucky you don't have to. But you guys have to deal with that, and we don't.
Yeah.
Very rarely do people put a laser pointer on a comedian because it's so quiet that you can just go, hey, there's
the guy.
Yeah, hey, stupid.
But I think I would have to do the laser pointer to see Paul Staley try to shove it up my ass because comedically that'd be hilarious.
No, I would just do it for the story, like how great it would be to have Paul putting something in my butt.
I mean, I'd fight the whole time, but you know, I think it'd be really funny for everybody else as he's attempting this.
I would be like, man, I'm such a fan for so long. This is really cool. I know you're mad at me.
When you present your hiney,
oh yeah,
as the laser pointer guy, you would be the one making it very easy for him.
I'd narrate it on stage. I'd be up on my hands and knees on the stage with the mic in my hand, going, you know, this has been a childhood dream of mine in a weird way to hang out with all of you guys.
Just spit on it first, Paul.
You think Paul would be able to handle that?
He wouldn't care for that at all.
Well, you're like, what? He'd be like, what the fuck? The guy actually wants me to put the laser pointer up his ass.
Yeah, he's handling this badly.
Right. This isn't working out like I thought it would. That's terrific stuff. We'll tweet that video out for the people.
Have you had laser pointers?
Yeah. Yeah, I've had stuff thrown, batteries, coins, things like that.
What was the craziest thing you saw just laying on the stage that someone threw? Do you remember offhand? You got
a throwing star, which that could really
throwing star.
Yeah, like that could kill somebody.
No
so like,
kidding.
yeah, you see those like in security at the end of the night, like when they bring everything they've confiscated, like in that bin, like the TSA looking bin. Yeah, we've seen brass knuckles in there, mace, but...
I get those, but who the fuck knows how to use a throwing star? Nobody who goes to a concert, if you're fighting a guy, he's an inch from you. What are you going to do, throw a star at him? Fucking idiot.
That's nuts.
It's crazy.
I've signed one of those at a signing, too, and I'm like, how did this even get in here? Like... But yeah, you signed some crazy stuff too. Like I've signed a switchblade. I'm like, well, that's probably not a good idea to have that in here.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I've used a throwing star in my martial arts experience. Ooh. I've done a little ninja training. When I was in high school, that was the baddest thing you could be, was a ninja.
Yeah.
That was the thing.
Yes.
Because, you know, I'm sure ninjas have been talked about, but that was when I became aware of them. And the fucking guy's a ninja. Like, that was the guy's in the black mask and the outfit. You're like, oh, this Mr. Mystery over here. But now it's like...
You can order all that stuff out of the back of the magazine.
Yeah.
Did we talk about that?
Now no one cares about ninjas. Just some guy from fucking Philly with MMA training would kill him.
The best of Axl Rose, Pissed Off. If you find a nice little section in this video, let us know, Paul.
Yeah, any of these like famous rocker videos with dudes jumping in the crowd. This was back in like the VHS days, right? Where the people were filming this. This looks like it might even be professionally filmed, but because they have multiple angles, right?
Yeah.
So, but like the VHS footage, I'm surprised there isn't more popping up now and being put onto YouTube. But obviously you can't get away with that now. Artists are liable, right? Like I think that there's new laws too where, like you were saying, you can't say certain things on stage. I remember one festival we did, I had a list of things that they said I couldn't say on stage because they had a death at the festival like a couple years prior from.
So what were some of the stuff?
I don't even think I can say because I think I signed an NDA for it as well. But there was certain verbiage that was used when other people were hurt.
So they're just trying to avoid that happening again.
Let me.
I
won't. I'm gonna see if I can guess because I've heard of this stuff before.
Really?
Yes.
Well, like,
What if you slip up and say one of these things?
Well, think about the shows that could have easily ended like really badly, like Woodstock.
I see.
Or like when like Limp Bizkit was playing, like that. The crowd is going absolutely insane. If you see that video of Limp Bizkit at Woodstock, like
where everyone's bouncing.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many people.
That bouncing video I think it's Limp Bizkit, right? From Woodstock.
Yeah,
well, the one that everyone likes is, I just dropped the microphone. That's the performer's greatest nightmare, by the way. The microphone falls, then who am I?
I'm nothing without this mic.
I dream every night that I'm waking up, I'm just talking into my fist, and I'm like, where's the microphone? I had a weird dream last night that I was at my grandmother's house with my Aunt Gail and Uncle Mike and all that, and the sink was flooding, but there was a wall of water against my waist, but like the sink had like it wasn't all high sink. The sink was full, but there was a cutout part in the front that the wall wasn't leaking out of. But I was like, no, it's not flooding. But I could see that it was, and I wanted to clean my glass, but couldn't. I have shitty dreams.
What does that mean? Oh, what does that mean? It's right.
I probably have, I'm lazy. I have a fear of doing the dishes. I think it means,
all it is.
Yeah, I think it means it's deep-seated sexual shit, but no, it just means you're lazy and you don't want to do the dishes. Or you want to fuck the lady from the Palmolive commercial.
I think it's trying to tell you that you should clean up your shit.
Yeah, I want Madge to queef in my mouth.
The Limp Bizkit. Now we're looking for the
AC/DC Donington video is the one. I haven't seen this one, but there's an AC/DC Thunderstruck one.
Oh yeah, that's one of my favorite live.
Oh, where they're all bouncing. Was that in Spain? I think.
I don't know. There's a few of them, but I think it is the one Jimmy just said.
Oh, is this your sandwich? Why'd they have two? Is that your sandwich?
You got two Sambos. I didn't order a sandwich. No,
that's yours. I think.
No, it's not. I don't need that. Yeah.
Oh, this is Donington.
Yeah, that's a good one. So what are they going to do now without Brian Johnson?
I don't know. I guess there's more shows planned, right?
With Axl?
They're playing tonight at the Garden.
With Axl?
They are?
Yes. Florentine just told me if
I'm going to go try to get some tickets.
Florentine said, just give me the word and I'll get you a ticket.
Florentine's got the hookup like that.
That's
He's
what
the
he was
man.
saying. He was in here Monday. Axl singing with AC/DC at the Garden tonight.
Did you see the doctor came out and said he can get Brian Johnson healed and on stage again? Did you see that?
Really?
Yeah, he's got
some... I think Angus wants that, though.
I don't know. He said he's got some in-ear technology that could possibly help him.
Yeah. I don't know. It just seems weird, Axl singing with AC/DC. Florentine says it's amazing, but to me it feels like it's like Guns N' Roses doing AC/DC songs because another guy with a distinctive voice.
Well, it's good. I wanted to hate on it at first because I wanted to see it go to someone who was kind of more underground and less of a name. But
no, Florentine said no way, man. He really is pulling it off.
Brian Johnson's outfits are the best, though. The tucked-in fucking tank top.
Yeah.
That's the outdoorsy European old man outfit. It's the greatest look.
Fuck.
No, I forget what.
Bigger than the Stones. Biggest rock band in the world with Brian Johnson. I don't know how the numbers were with Axl, but I would assume.
Were they bigger than the Stones on the road?
Yes.
As far as touring now?
They probably toured more, though.
I bet you Stones might have grossed more, but attendance-wise, because Stones charge a higher ticket, I bet you the gross is more for Stones, but attendance-wise, I bet you AC/DC was bigger.
You think they could sell more tickets than the Rolling Stones?
In a lot of places, yeah. Especially like Australia, some places in Europe, Eastern Europe.
Are they popular in Australia? Oh, when I was in Australia, we went to AC/DC Way.
Oh, you did?
In Melbourne, yeah. It's an alley that, of course, Jonathan found, and where they have these paintings. They're not even amazing, but they were done. This paint of Bon Scott, and the alleys. They allow graffiti in certain alleys down there. It's really cool. And the AC/DC Way is really. See if you can find some pictures of it on.
Why is it called AC/DC Lane?
Way, just because there was some paintings, some like graffiti.
What? So
go to Perth?
No, I was in how do they say it down local? Melbourne and Sydney.
Oh, not bad.
Did you get a Harry's Tiger Pie?
The hell is that?
Oh, it's
Wait
the
a
best.
minute.
I let that sink in.
You go to Harry DeWheel's, it's the best. I go every time I'm in Sydney. And you get a pie, and it's like, they just put mashed potatoes on top of it, and then peas, and then gravy, and it's like...
Oh, that sounds awesome.
It's amazing. It's like...
Is there any meat in that?
Yeah, it's like you could choose which meat pie you want, and then you get the mashed potatoes, the gravy, and the peas on top.
Okay, so it starts with the meat, then the mashed potatoes, then the peas, and then a little gravy. Wow, that sounds awesome. Here's some pictures, Jimmy. They're calling AC/DC Lane.
No, this is different.
So that's
a better
different?
picture. That's actually a better picture than the one I saw.
Okay.
Let me flip through my photos, and I'll show you a couple that if I can find. Oh boy, they give me a shitty food plate and fucking.
Yeah.
Hold on. Oh, here we go. Okay. Why am I? This is not good on the radio. Have you seen any of these? There's like.
Okay, yeah.
Have you seen those? I'm just showing pictures of my phone. Why do I think that's interesting radio for anyone? I'm showing pictures of a painting in Melbourne, Australia on my phone to people in the studio.
I said, wow.
I didn't get to hear the end of the show with Cody, but did you talk about the card? Like, did you watch the pay-per-view?
Yeah, I talked about it with Sarah on the UFC podcast, but it was amazing.
But did you see it? Did you see the CM Punk fight
I saw that's the only fight I saw.
All right, you didn't see the Verdum?
I didn't rent this one.
It's my favorite thing ever. Verdum kicking him in the face.
Verdum is like, I'm such a fan now. He is. You got to see it. Front side. What was it? It was like a flying front side kick.
Oh, I saw the kick. I saw the kick as a highlight. We looked at that a little bit yesterday, but
I don't know if other people kind of get that dude's humor, but he really gives no fucks. Like, to do that and not respect somebody like that.
Well, it's not. He's so scared. He has no fear of being taken down because he's the fucking best guy on the ground and by far.
Yeah.
So he's just wild because he doesn't care if you take him down. He wants you to take him down.
And he's just crazy. He kicks the cornerman at the end, and then during the post-fight interviews or whatever, he was making jokes about Stipe, like, "Oh, I would hear fire trucks and I would get scared because Stipe's a fireman," and he just get like. I don't know. I can't remember a UFC fighter adding comedy into his routine.
I feel like the UFC, they're allowing a lot more shit talking and, like you just said, some comedy too. It was pretty straight laced there for a while, and it seems like it's changing a little bit.
Yeah, it really is.
Certainly is bringing some of that into the UFC, and also Nate Diaz and a few of these other guys.
It's been wild with the bottle throwing, and he threw a monster can like at the Diaz brothers, and then now with this, there was a little scuffle with Jessica I guess, at the weigh-in.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, she pushed Beth. Well, she got robbed. I felt like she won, but judges felt differently. But yeah, this fight was crazy. He tried to call a timeout in the middle of it. I enjoyed it. Everybody online, I saw on my Twitter, everybody was like, that was horrible, that was weird, that was
What
strange.
did you think was horrible? The fight?
I don't know why people didn't like it. I was fully entertained from start to finish. I couldn't wait for the press conference. I mean, I felt bad for CM Punk, but
he throws a kick at the fucking
and then
striking coach.
And then when they ask him about it in the interview, he goes, well, he's a boxing coach, so he was gonna hit me. He's a boxing coach. That's what he wanted to do. Like,
right.
He wasn't like winding up to hit him or anything.
And look at Travis Brown is standing there like he's got to jump in front of his guy, but he's like, I don't want no more of this fucking nonsense.
I don't want to deal with this. Wow.
I was just wondering because I didn't get to hear the end if Cody said anything.
I think we talked about it. I don't remember. I think we did. I forget from one show to the next, to be honest with you. I really do.
But I saw
so much on one show. It's hard to keep up.
I know. We're so chock full of entertainment.
Yes, we are.
Well, in the after show, Rogan's like, I don't want to interview. Oh, that's because Reem, he said, I thought I felt Stipe tap, and then in the after show, Rogan's like, I don't think it's a good idea to interview people after they've been KO'd.
Right.
Which I think I would agree with, because it's just not a good look.
I think as a fan, you want to see it, though.
But aren't you surprised we haven't seen anybody like just complete gibberish talk afterwards?
Of course. And Rogan knows how to handle that stuff. He's very, very good with the fighters after the fights.
As soon as he's like, well, let's take a look at that.
I know. That
he had to, though, because that's when the guy's calling him out in his own town like that. Like,
Rogan
you
had
have to show him.
Rogan had no choice. He had to go, all right, let's take a look at it. And then he was wrong.
He's so good. I'm going to miss him if he doesn't stay on.
I hope he doesn't leave, man.
What's going on?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
His contract's up, right?
No, he re-signed for a year or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Or 2 years. I don't know. But it was limited duty, yeah.
I mean, he doesn't want to go anywhere. And they'd be crazy to lose Joe Rogan.
Not doing any international traveling. He said it's just too much. Like, you fucking travel, you fly to wherever, you lose a couple of days.
Oh, so he wants like a easier schedule?
Oh, yeah, they want him.
He wants less. I see what's going on. Is he negotiating, though, maybe, to get a little
I honestly
extra,
don't know.
Cash?
I don't know.
Huh.
He does like gigs the night before and stuff too, like so after the weigh, and then he'll go do a stand-up gig. I mean, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, he works the cities that these things are in. Yeah.
Did Dana come out and say anything about if CM Punk would get another fight? Has that been addressed?
I think they said that he should fight as an amateur, but the point was raised that I think once you fight pro, you can't fight amateur anymore. Right. So now you can't do that. So I don't know if he can go into the house. Can he go into the fucking house and fight? I don't know.
What about Ed Soares' league? He's got a smaller promotion. That'd be cool. RFA.
See, it says right there, Dana White says CM Punk probably shouldn't have his next fight in the UFC. He didn't, set him up with someone at the same skill level in RFA and then put it in Chicago where they could, obviously get a big gate and he could draw a lot of people. He's an older guy to begin with.
Right, but he's marquee value, so if you put him on an RFA card, you're going to get a lot of people in the building and you're going to get a lot of eyes on, I think RFA's on Access TV, right? So they would get a lot of eyes on Access TV.
And CM Punk is not ready to give it up yet.
Give him another fight.
I liked what he said after the fight.
Yeah, it was good.
Right?
Everybody hating on it now. It's like you got what you wanted and let it go.
Balls.
Like if you're still hating on it, 3-4 days later.
Didn't the WWE make fun of him too?
I heard they didn't. I heard that was a parody, and then I heard it wasn't.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I just read that they did. I didn't actually see what they did.
But for a promotion like RFA, if you have some smaller guys that are real stars, are really good, and you put them on that card, don't make them the headliner, but put them in the mix like they did, like third from the top or whatever, and you're going to bring all those eyes on those other fighters. It's a win-win for everybody. Look at all the people that fought on that Kimbo Slice card. Look at what Bellator did. They got now Michael Chandler. People know about more, and he's great. He actually posted something nice about CM Punk, which was cool. He's a real classy guy.
That Kimbo Slice Dada 5000 fight was just so ridiculous. You saw that, right, Jamie?
Yeah, it was crazy. I had Kimbo on my show right before that, and we talked about it. And was it good for the sport? Probably not, but it got a lot of eyes on it. So if you're a casual fan and you're into Kimbo Slice and you turn in to see him and you see someone else and you become a fan, how is that a bad thing? These guys are hurting their bodies for our entertainment.
Right.
It's like, give them
a fight like that.
Situation.
A fight like that brings in a whole bunch of people that probably wouldn't have been checking out the pay-per-view or the event or whatever. So I see your point, but it was just ridiculous to watch.
Yeah,
how tired those guys were. They couldn't even punch anymore.
See, I'd rather see that though than see what happened to CM Punk, just because I feel like I had the same feeling like after that fight as I did when Matt Hughes beat up Hoyce. Like, do you remember that fight with where Hughes beat up Hoyce Gracie? Like, I just felt like, I did not tune in to see this. Yeah. Or like when Steve Bossy made his debut, he got knocked out, but he came back and knocked out James Tahuna. So I mean, there's guys that have been starched or really brutalized who've come back and had another great performance. So if CM Punk did that with in RFA, people would be psyched and his real estate would go back up.
Sure.
As long as it was like a good brawl, and even win or lose.
He's 37, so it's hard to build from 37. It's not. He's a very tough dude, but it's hard at 37 to build for 3 years and then start fighting at 40.
I'm 39. More. It's hard to get out of bed. So I know.
Yeah. I'm 48. And it's funny. I have a real vigor for life.
Vigor.
I really do. I just take on the day.
A lot of these guys have been training their whole lives at 37 are feeling a drop off. So I mean, God, good for him though.
Look at Hendo, right? He gets to fight Bisping again. And how old is he?
Hendo will be 58 in March. Fucking ancient.
By the way,
man, is he a tough dude? I think he's the toughest guy in the entire sport.
How old is he really?
41 maybe, or is he older? Is he 45?
So
he was 45 years old. Is he 45? Dan Henderson?
I was talking about Hendo the other day.
Dan Henderson.
With I won't say who.
46.
Wow. I was talking about Hendo with a friend, and he goes, "Have you seen Hendo's girlfriend?" And he sent me a picture, and I was like, "Hendo is a gangster. I mean, that dude is he's a true American."
Do you think, doesn't he just look like a guy that you never fuck with in a bar?
No, never. And he's just the man. He's just, win or lose, he's just the man.
Oh my God, she's an 11.
He's great.
Wow, wait, look at that.
It must be nice though to have like a chick that hot and to know that no matter where you go, No one's going to give her a hard time.
Yeah.
You imagine hitting on her at a bar and that fucking monster walks up? Like, oh, no.
Right.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
Oh, nerds.
I'm going to get a beating.
That event, I guess, sold out like in 5 minutes, and it's those fans got to go at 5 in the morning, right? They fight
in Australia, right? Melbourne.
No, it's in London. I think it's at the O2 or Manchester. No, it's at Manchester. Which is going to be even crazier. Those fans are even...
Bisping's British, right?
Yeah.
I love Michael Bisping. We should have him on. He's such a great interview.
Love to have him on.
He's got a show here
I know,
right?
with Lewis.
Yeah.
It's good, too, man. Luis Gomez knows a lot about MMA. He does a good job. Yeah, he's really good. And they have a fun show together.
Yeah, I gotta hit up Lewis and try to get on that show. Bisping's great. I met him briefly at the Prudential Center, and I was surprised. He's a big dude.
Yeah,
like you would think he's smaller because he looks small against some of these guys, but that just goes to show how tough Bisping is. Because a lot of these guys that he fought were really jacked, really juiced to the gills, if you know what I mean.
It's just getting better and better, the UFC.
Dude, it's fucking... The fact that Dan Henderson... I didn't realize 46 is fighting for the title.
That's
after
nuts.
that brutal... Well, that knockout of Bisping was so brutal, so they knew that there was a reason to have a second fight.
And these fans are going to stay up till 5 in the morning. We get to watch it on normal time.
Well, you don't think they'll go to bed and get up responsibly? No, I think you're right. They're going to be up all night.
Set
I got to go to bed early, get up.
I'll set my alarm at 4:30 in the morning. No, they're going to be hammered by the time it starts.
5 a.m. That's got to be a tough
Let's go to that. Are you off on that? Let's go to that.
When exactly is that's coming up too soon, I think.
Oh, shit. No, yeah. I'm on,
Saturday what?
I'm on the road then.
October 8th.
I thought it was in November.
No, I actually shoot my special the night before. In D.C., yeah, so I should fly from D.C. there.
What venue?
The Lincoln Theater in Washington, D.C.
Is that where Chris Rock did his...
I don't know. I shot Monster Rain there in 2007.
Right on.
It's a nice
So
venue.
you're there October 7th?
In D.C., yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Why don't we... Craig Gass is here.
Oh, good.
But we got to take a break, probably.
Yes, we do.
We could play that Cake song, I Will Survive. So we're still waiting for food. We could do that.
I got a story. Well, actually, I have a story I can't tell about Cake. Sorry. It's bad. Actually, maybe I can tell it.
What happened?
Oh, my God, just tell it.
Did you eat too much of it? I've had those days. Are we talking about something else?
A friend of a friend, a guy I knew, when I guess was playing drums for Cake, and then did some real sketchy shit, and now I think is in jail for life. So we have to look that up and see if it's...
Wait, that's the story?
Yeah, the drummer from Cake. I don't know if they downplayed that,
I
or
sort
if
of
they
remember this.
or if they
Child molestation.
Right. 15 years in prison for child molestation.
Whoa.
He wasn't the original drummer, I don't think, was he?
Yeah.
No, he drummed for them from 2001 to 2004. Cake was around before that, so he was one of their guys that came in.
Was it child porn, or was he actually like a toucher?
Terrible.
How do you only get 15 years from molestation? Like, why isn't that just like a life sentence?
Oh, he only
15 to life.
He molested a 3-year-old during a Thanksgiving party. Gee, what?
I know. It gives you something to be thankful for.
terrible.
Gobble.
I'm glad I didn't just say that on the mic and it wasn't like I thought.
Well, that's why I went right to the Google to make sure, so we could like defend ourselves against possible lawsuits.
Here's the Thanksgiving turkey.
Only Jim Norton can do that.
Right. I think I'm more disturbed that it happened on Thanksgiving.
Sure.
For some reason, that makes it worse.
Looks like
How
I
did it
woke
make
up.
it worse.
I thought I had cranberry sauce in my pubes.
Oh, wow.
Jesus.
My
This is taking us such a dark turn.
My goodness.
The dark turn with Jim Norton.
Oh.
My God.
Yeah, I'm garbage. I admit it.
All right, listen, we got Jamey Jasta here. You're promoting what, Jamey?
HateBreedVIP.com. We go to Ozfest September 24th, Black Sabbath's last California show, and then the tour starts with us, Devil Driver and Devil You Know, and you can check out GasDigitalNetwork.com is the network I'm on with Lewis and Ralph and all those guys.
Wow, yeah, I'm looking at your tour dates all over the place. Good for you. Jimmy's got, he's taping a special very soon, like you said.
Minneapolis tomorrow night. I leave at 9:30 to go to Minnesota. I'm doing a makeup gig there. And then Friday night's Pittsburgh. And then the week after is Toronto for 2 shows. And then Nyack for a full weekend to finalize the set. And then I shoot October 7th.
Wow.
But I feel very ready. I feel really good. I'm glad I'm shooting now and not a month ago because a lot of stuff that was in is out. This set's a lot less topical. Some of it is kind of somewhat current, but there's a lot less topical stuff in this one. So it feels,
that'll be fun, man.
Yeah, I'm really psyched.
Very cool.
Very happy.
On the way, Craig Gassie's outside the studio. We got Mory Povich coming in to say hi. It's been...
Maury's in today? Wow.
Yeah, we haven't seen Mory in a while.
Maury's shooting in Stanford now, I think, right?
He's been shooting there forever.
And
I just saw the sign, and I'm like, I gotta go do a Mory taping. I gotta go do it.
We can set it up for you today.
Can you? Oh, I would love that. I'm a fan.
Mory loves us. How old is Mory Povich? My God.
He's great.
He's still doing this, huh?
Sorry, what were you saying?
And then, we got Anthrax doing 2 or 3 songs for us today.
I have not heard the new CD.
It's great.
But that'll be at, oh my God, that's at 9 o'clock.
I understand there's a heavy song they have called Shake, Shake, Shake the Windows.
We got to get Joey Belladonna to guest on Simmer Down. I don't want to simmer down. What is it?
Should we play it for them?
Yes.
See what they could do with it?
Yes.
I think we're going to have to.
Scotty and guest spot.
We'll be right. We're going to go make love and come right back?
Well, okay, we could do that. And the song we make love to will be Cake, I Will Survive. Yes. I'm telling you, this is worth listening to if you've never heard it. They really do some good stuff with this Gloria Gaynor song.
Opie and Jim continue. On with the show.
Yeah, on with the show. Another busy day. We got Jamey Jasta in studio.
Yeah.
Of course, Jim Norton. A little later, Anthrax, Mory Povich, and now we got Craig Jasta. He's coming into the studio. And I'm going to do your podcast there, Jamey Jasta.
Yeah,
we got the idea now, don't we?
Yep, we're going to play you death metal.
Nice.
Play you Crowbar.
Nice.
You got to see the Beavis and Butthead with Crowbar. Craig Gass. Reliable Craig Glass.
Yeah?
What's going on?
Where does the reliable come
Yeah, what's that about? Reliable.
Because you're right on time. You were here at 8 o'clock.
You were ready to go.
I'm an old radio guy. I'm always early.
And we can always count on you for the laughs.
Just putting pressure on the guy.
Yeah.
I heard you talking about Seattle rock. I couldn't help but listen in a little bit, man. You're from Seattle, right?
No, I'm from New York.
But did you do some Seattle time?
I started doing radio in Seattle with a guy named Bob Rivers.
You started with Bob Rivers?
23 years ago, I started with Bob Rivers.
Bob Rivers is a legend in the business.
A legend.
I don't know him.
You know his stuff.
He does song parodies that are so spot on. You don't know until the lyrics kick in. You go, holy shit! He can copy any sound. He does these incredible song parodies. And I had just moved to Seattle to be a comedian, and I just thought,
why did you decide to move to Seattle to be a comedian?
Only because friends of mine had moved to Seattle. I was living in Tucson at the time.
Yeah. And
I got really bad into drugs, and I needed a new life, and I wanted to be a comedian, but Tucson was such a small town that I would tell friends, like, yeah, I want to do stand-up comedy, and it was such a small town, and I knew everybody. It was like, hey, Craig's going to do, he's going to be a big-time comedian over here, and I had to get the fuck away from that to
they're kind of shitty and mocking of your dream? Yeah, it's the worst.
Yeah, because
your friends are the worst, right?
Because they knew what kind of a dipshit I was.
Right.
And then when I got to Seattle, I did one open mic, and a guy said, hey, I'm having a party for all the comics. You want to go? And he introduced me to everybody as a comic. And I had only done comedy one time. And he goes, hey, Craig's a stand-up comedian. I go, oh, what's that like? And I go, it's awesome. It's, and that meant so much to me to just have that validation. Like, yes, I'm a stand-up comedian, and nobody knew about my past. Nobody knew what kind of a dipshit I was, and I was able to,
change
your life.
It's like being a sex offender. You went to a new city for a fresh start.
What? A fresh start.
The music scene was insane. I got there in 1993, and
my God!
And
you hear Pearl Jam?
Yeah. It's funny because I know that Opie's a big Pearl Jam fan, and I didn't get to know that. McReady and I became friends after I moved out, but I got so many Pearl Jam stories that I knew you would get a kick out of, and
Travis is even a bigger fan than me.
Really?
Have you met Travis Eddie Vedder?
Yeah, I met him a few times, and then
Thank you, Jim.
But Mike has. I've met everybody that I've become friends with everybody that works with Pearl Jam. And I've heard some really funny stories. I'm surprised I've never become public. Like, there's this girl, Anna, who used to work at their fan club. And I remember asking her, I'm always obsessed with human behavior. And I remember asking her, what's the weirdest shit that you get at the fan club? Because you got to get some weird requests and stuff, right? And she said, there's one guy who actually writes every week. Every week he writes a letter to Pearl Jam's fan club and says, I just want to thank Eddie once again, for writing that song Alive about me. It means a lot to me. Can you please thank him? It just, it means, I don't want any credit. I'm just glad that my story's out there. And he always includes 3 or 4 pictures of graphic gay sex. It's just guys fucking each other. And once a week, he sends a letter, doesn't reference the pictures of guys cornholing each other.
Yeah.
And he just sends a letter, hey, once again, I heard it on the radio. You know what? Thank you. Thank you.
Wow. Sounds like my fan club.
That's such a strange one.
Yeah. But I was always a big music fan, but I was more of a metal fan growing up. And so I resisted that whole Seattle thing at first. And then I got it later. So,
which bands did you like when you were there?
I got Pearl Jam on the second album, and I was just a bandwagon guy. Embarrassingly, a bandwagon guy. But I was more of a Metallica, Kiss, Motley Crue,
Right.
I was just, everything that was coming out in the 80s, I was a huge, huge fan of. And, I was a big metal guy. I was just always.
Craig knows everybody in music, and he's a really good friend backstage. Like, there's so many times I'm back there with a working pass, and I don't know where to go, and he'll just walk you through and introduce you to whoever you want to meet. Yeah. Craig's a good guy backstage.
You know your way around there, Craig.
Well, I tried to work in music first. I started promoting shows when I was 15. I was a kid, and I used to book and promote concerts from the time I was 15 till I was 23. I wanted to be in the music business, and as a promoter, I needed a helping hand. I was always doing these small shows, and I couldn't get a hand up. But I made a ton of friends in the music industry.
But did you just see Pearl Jam from the stage? And where was it, Travis, you were telling me? Chicago?
Wrigley, yeah.
Wrigley Field?
I will Periscope shows, and I won't say anything about what you're looking at. Like, I was at the Super Bowl, I was at Metallica's rehearsal in San Francisco, and I Periscoped it as local music from San Francisco, local band singing about a puppet. And then hashtag not bad. And then people were tuning in going, what the fuck? And they're like,
that's great.
Because I feel like there's some part of me that still holds back on looking douchey by saying, like, hey, I'm on stage with Pearl Jam. So instead I just write
oh my God,
baseball fans singing about baseball. And then you tune in and we're on stage at Wrigley Field.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
You gotta check out Stone Gossard's other band, right? Brad, that's what they're called. Stone Gossard.
Yeah, they got those guys. Matt Cameron has a great. They're all Kiss fans. They're all huge Kiss fans. And Matt Cameron used to be in a Kiss cover band in high school, and they called themselves Kiss. They were 15 years old, and they had a Kiss cover band. And once a month, they would do a show that they would hand out flyers in school. Jimmy's house. Saturday night, here's Jimmy's address, 7 p.m., Kiss. And they'd have the logo. Kiss is performing at Jimmy's house. And it was Matt Cameron and a bunch of bands, or a bunch of friends. And then Matt got a letter in the mail from, what was that record label that Kiss was on?
Casablanca.
He got a letter in the mail from Casablanca, and he went, we're getting signed! Oh, God.
Gene's suing him.
We're getting signed! And he opened it up, and it was a cease and desist.
From the actual band?
He was 15 years old!
That's great.
He was 15!
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Too funny.
Yeah,
what's Bob Rivers up to these days? I need to know.
Bob...
Maybe I should ask that stuff off air, but...
Bob retired, but...
yeah, I know. He retired a few years back now.
He's a musician, and he loves music, so his heart was, he always wanted to go on the road, and so now he's playing live music. But it was through Bob Rivers that I got into radio and learned how shitty this business is. I mean, no kidding. Like, I've never heard of treatment of anyone as shitty as people in radio. You're always the last one to know that you're getting fired.
Of course.
And there's stories like, there was a story in Buffalo. I guess there was a heritage rock station up there that they posted signs all over the building. Friday at 6 p.m., mandatory meeting. All on air and salespeople, 6 p.m. at the Mexican restaurant next door. Everybody has to be there at 6 p.m. on Friday. So at 5 p.m., everybody clocks out. They go to the Mexican restaurant. And at 6 p.m., the owners stand in front of everybody and they said, I know you guys have been hearing a lot of rumors, and it's true. Starting on Monday, we're going Spanish. And everyone started laughing. They're like, you took us to a Mexican restaurant to tell us we're going fucking Spanish? Really?
What a dick.
They think it's a joke. Like, you know, guys are they're pointing at the waitstaff going, is that our new morning show? Right there. And for a few minutes, it's carrying on as a joke until finally someone goes, wait a minute, I got a question. So are we really fired? We're all being let go? Okay, because I have to go back to work because I have stuff from my house at my desk, so I actually need to go back in the building. And
they don't let you go back in the building.
And they said, we actually took care of that. And guys started walking in with boxes.
Yeah, that's how it works.
At 5 p.m., when everybody clocked out, they went to everybody's desk and they threw all your shit in a box and put your name on it, and they showed up with all the boxes at 6 p.m.
Why is it like that?
I got scared because that exact scenario happened to me when I was working in Buffalo. But it wasn't a Mexican restaurant. It was the conference room. And the word got out, huge meeting on Monday, and we were all partying all weekend, wondering what this big meeting's about. We were getting excited, like, oh, this could only be good news for us. And then they put us all in a conference room, and they fired everybody on the spot in the conference room. And then we left all depressed, and there were armed guards all over the building.
Wow.
Making sure you took out your shit and didn't take anything else that was valuable to the new guys coming in, which was the company from across the street took over the station.
Really?
I was one of the lucky ones because I was making literally no money. I was making $12,000 a year, I'll tell you.
So it was not a big financial hit to
No. So they kept me. I was one of the only ones that they kept, and it was purely because I made no money, $12,000, and I still went out with everyone. And as everyone's drowning their, sorrows and getting completely hammered, and I had to sit there the whole time, like, this really fucking sucks. Blah, blah, blah. But I had a job with the new guys,
and you knew that, and nobody else knew.
Yeah,
that.
I was fired, and then they go, well, we want to talk to, I don't remember anymore. This is a long time ago, but it's like, we want to talk to Opie and just only a couple others. Just because they wanted to keep, they had to keep things going. I was only the overnight guy, so they're like, we're not going to fire the overnight guy and put another guy in there for $12,000. You could stay.
I remember that first rock station.
Wow, $12,000 a year.
The first rock station I worked at in Seattle, they had a conference. They put everybody in a conference room, fired everybody. I remember it was, hey, we're really excited. We're the new owners. We got some great ideas that we want to get you on board for. Real quick. Is Tommy France here? Tommy? You're Tommy? Okay. Jim Odell? You're Jim? And Kathy Ladd. Is Kathy here? You're Kathy. Okay. We are letting you guys go. Their arms up. Oh yeah, you guys.
Wow.
They don't give a fuck.
Isn't it odd the way they won't tell you you're getting, I don't know what they're afraid is going to happen that you're going to say on the radio. It's just got to be this magical switch where now we're a different genre. And why is it so scary just to have people talk about how they feel on the air? Like, what the fuck are you worried about?
Yeah.
I don't know what they're afraid
you might shit on the station like that hip hop chick did. Remember that?
Yeah, but who gives a fuck?
Yeah, I mean, it's,
that makes for great radio, and then people will be talking about that for a while, and then you're going to move on with your new format anyway.
I think the most brutal story I've ever heard was a buddy of mine. I don't want to say what market he was in, but he was the number one show in his market, like a top 10 size market. They had 7 people on the show. And his contract's coming up with Clear Channel, and he asked Clear, what are we going to do? Contract's coming up, and they said, we'll get back to you. So he has his agent get an offer from the competing company, and he goes to Clear Channel, and he says, I got a pay raise for all 7 guys on my show. So what do you want to do? And they said, we're going to crunch some numbers, we'll get back to you. And his last show before Christmas, and every radio guy knows when you say last show before Christmas, where the story's going. And last show before Christmas, he said, program director wants to talk to you in her office. He goes in her office and she says, so we've crunched some numbers and we decided we're not going to renew. We're not going to match the offer. Mm. And he said, okay, so I'm done. And they said, but we did match the offer for the other 6 people on the show.
Yeah.
And all 6 of the people that he had on his show all negotiated behind his back.
Wow. Yeah, that shit happens all the time.
Did they not like him, or was it a weird? Did they not know that they were negotiating independently?
It's later you find out they were having some issues that was going on behind the scenes. But one of the guys that was part of that 7-person team was a guy that he made part of his deal in every market that he got a job in. Every market, it's like, hey, my buddy.
Right.
He's part of the show, so he's got to be part of this deal.
Yeah.
And that guy also negotiated behind his back.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's brutal. It's a really, I've never seen people get treated as shitty as people on radio.
I want to do like a side show where I get old school radio guys in here and just tell all the shitty stories, because everyone has just a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, Bob took me to my first boot camp. Weren't you at boot camp?
I never did the boot camp.
I'm trying to get in, but they won't accept me. I want to go to one of those boot camps, and I want to learn radio ABCs.
Yeah, those are brutal, man.
We became a hot commodity for the boot camps. They wanted us to go there to talk and stuff, and I just never wanted to be.
Boot camp is
in front of other radio guys.
It does sound awful, doesn't it?
I like a handful of radio guys, and the rest they can go fuck themselves.
They're good guys, but a weekend of just fucking good-natured radio joshing sounds fucking hideous.
It's not all good-natured. What it is it's a convention of morning radio shows from all over the country.
It's very helpful for a lot of shows. I will say that.
And but
a lot of ideas being exchanged in between drinks.
Yeah, they have one get-together where everybody participates in a massive ballroom, and they go around table to table to every market that's represented, and they say, tell us a bit that worked really well in your market.
Oh, no.
And then they just shit on each other. I remember there was this guy Griff from Atlanta, really cool older black dude. He was moderating the whole thing, and then one guy got up and said, "Yeah, we're from Anchorage, Alaska, and we did a bit on the air, and it was really funny. This is what the bit was," and it just flopped in the room, and Griff goes, "That's why you in Anchorage." I mean, it's brutal.
That's funny.
They're so shitty and so catty to each other.
Absolutely, that's funny. So, what are you up to, Craig Gass?
I'm back in New York. I'm doing a comedy show on Sunday. I've been trying to track down a troll.
What do you mean? Someone that hates you?
Yeah, anytime.
Are there people like that online? I don't know. I get nothing but love. It's weird. Like I get so much love, I don't know what to do with it.
I thought you were talking about an actual troll for the sole reason you said, I'm trying to track down a troll. How hard can that be?
Well, there's a guy, anytime somebody leaves a shitty comment, I love to engage and have fun with them. You know, if somebody says, "Hey, man, that wasn't very funny," I like to reply and go, I'm sorry, I didn't know that you're an expert in stand-up comedy. Hold on, I'm going to make a whole new thread for you. You're going to have to teach me how to do this, and I'll make a whole new thread and go, hey, everyone, check out Fuckface Fred from the last thread, who apparently is a stand-up comedy genius, and he's going to educate us on how to do stand-up comedy. All right, Fred, this is your thread. Tell me how to do it. Show me how to be funny. And it's always like 100 comments, people going, "Yeah, Fred, you fucking loser," you know. And but there was one guy who just wouldn't back down. He kept doubling down and saying, I could have been funnier than you if I tried comedy, but I'm a successful business owner, and I decided to run a couple successful businesses. And then at one point he said, I could put together a funnier act than you in a month if I tried. And I said, all right, I'm going to buy you a plane ticket. And I'm going to fly you to Los Angeles. I'm doing a show at the Comedy Store, and I want you to get on stage and show me how to do it. So I'll pay for your plane ticket.
Wow, awesome!
And I contacted him directly and said, hey, I wasn't kidding about the plane ticket. I'll pay for it. You know, just give me let me know when you want to fly out and fly back. I'll take care of it. You know, and just put together like 5 or 10 minutes. And he wrote me back and said, I don't need you to pay for my plane ticket because I'm not a liberal faggot. And I go, what does that have to do with it?
Exactly.
I'm trying to do something nice. I mean, listen, if you're funnier than me, that would be great, you know?
It would be amazing.
And so I bought him a plane ticket, and he's like, I'm in. I'm gonna show everybody that you're not funny, and I'm gonna embarrass you. And
watch it. All of a sudden, you're like, wait, the name is William Burr. Oh no. Oh no.
Which honestly would have been great if he was funny. I mean, it's not like I'm worried about, you know, getting. I'm like, come down and be funny, and then write some roast material about me, and we'll just roast each other on stage.
Sure.
And on the day of, he posted and said, I'm sorry, I really wanted to come out, but I couldn't make it. I had to have somebody cover for me at work. And and he said, but if you would have done this in New York, I would have easily made it. So I'm performing on Sunday at the New York Comedy Club this Sunday. And this is the show that he's going to come educate.
Is he going to come?
He says the one thing he's hung up on is he wanted... he had a bunch of excuses. One was that he wanted $1,500.
He's afraid. That's what it is.
And I said, no, I said this entire show, I'm paying out of pocket to come to New York, and I want you to educate me, but I'm donating all the money to charity. I found a local charity that helps out mentally ill people, which I think he is. So I'm going to benefit, people like him will benefit. But New York Comedy Club on Sunday night at 7 p.m.
He might be showing.
I told him, he keeps saying, I got to give you the money for what I owe you for. I will pay you for the plane ticket. I'm not going to back out on that. And I said, just come do it on Sunday. Bring me the check or bring me cash for the plane ticket and then get on stage. Do 5-10 minutes.
He's not going to show up.
His only thing is, he doesn't believe I'm really going to donate the money to charity, and I'm going to make it transparent.
He's coming up with all sorts of excuses.
Yeah,
I'm with Jimmy. He's not showing.
I think he wants to do it, and he really says
he's scared.
Yeah,
he can't believe that a real performer has called his bluff legitimately and will do it.
Yeah.
To him, it was like this thing that was going to go away, and the fact that you're going to do it, he's not going to.
He's not showing up, Craig.
Yeah. It would be funny.
It'll still be a great show, though.
Yeah.
Listen, if he doesn't show, like in Hollywood. We did the show, and we had a backup plan, which was we were going to have Brian Scalero play the role of this troll. And
Scalero's funny.
Scalero's a really funny guy. And then Bill Kinison, Sam Kinison's brother, offered to judge, and he said, "I'll judge this troll, and I'll be honest, and I'll So Bill Kinison still came out with the Kinison family, and he judged. And we're going to have a couple local comics judge on Sunday and be fair about it. I want to be fair about it, and just. I hope the guy's funny. I really want to see the guy be funny. And
so I got to stop. So your Sam Kinison impression got you into the Kinison family. Now you're close with all those guys.
Yeah, they started contacting me. Everyone who I've done an impression of has reached out to me over the somehow like the Kiss impressions of Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley. I found out that Paul Stanley was a huge fan of anyone making jokes about Gene Simmons, which was crazy. And everyone that works with Kiss is always coming out of the woodwork to give me material about Gene. And it's always with, hey, maybe you could, I got a story for you. Maybe you can use it on stage. And the stories are always terrible.
Yeah.
There was one guy that called me up and said, hey, I'm recording an album in the studio. The guy who owns the recording studio is a big fan of yours. He wants to talk to you. And the guy gets on the phone. He goes, dude, I love all your impressions, especially your Gene Simmons, because Gene was the first guy to ever fuck me over in this business. And what happened is he came into the studio producing a band, and at the last minute, he wanted to switch into my largest facility for the same amount of money. And he showed up and he said, did you get my message? I want to use Studio A. And I said, yeah, I did. I don't know if you got my message. I called you back, and someone is using Studio A. I asked them if they would switch, and they said no. And he said, do they know that Gene Simmons from Kiss is here? And he goes, you know what? If you want to ask him, you can, but I'm not going to ask him again. He said, okay, where's Studio A? He goes, it's all the way down the hall. It's the last door on the right. So Gene goes walking down the hall, opens up the door to Studio A, looks inside, and sees the Wu-Tang Clan recording an album, and then slowly closes the door, comes back up to the front and goes, right, where's Studio B? He never even opened his mouth to the Wu-Tang Clan. And one of my other favorite stories is that a guy told me, he said, I've been working with Kiss on and off for 20 years, right? He said, when we were on tour years ago, Gene actually fucked Miss America while we were on tour. The reigning Miss America.
I would say allegedly, but I don't think even Gene would sue over that rumor. No one's going to sue you for implying they fucked Miss America.
And then the story gets worse. He said, so he fucked Miss America. The next night, Gene fucked a whore. A girl that was such a mess that even the guys in the road crew were like, Jesus, did you see that girl? And the next day, we had a day off in a town that was so small that the band and the road crew were staying in the same hotel. And he said, I just happened to be in the bar of the hotel and looking over right as Gene is walking through the lobby, and he's dragging this enormous girl with him through the lobby, gets in the elevator, pushes the button to his floor, and looks at me through the lobby as the elevator doors close, and he goes, "Oh yeah," and the doors close. And he said the next day at sound check, he walks up to Gene, and he goes, "Gene, did you fuck that girl last night?" And he goes, "Of course." And he goes, "Didn't you fuck Miss America the night?" He goes, Steve, listen to me, okay? I'm going to give you some advice. You can't have filet mignon every night. Sometimes you got to go to McDonald's." And I was like, what the fuck? That's a horrible story. Right. Yeah, but...
that's really funny.
But yeah, those guys...
Kinison was one of my favorites.
Did you ever have Kinison? Like, I know Brother Weeze was a big...
I got an old tape of where I was in studio when Brother Weeze was hanging with Sam Kinison for a couple days. But that's about it. You can see me in the background. I got pictures with Sam Kinison. I've met him. Yeah. It was awesome. I was a nobody, though, when Kinison was around. He wasn't going to talk to me on the radio yet.
I'm at the Comedy Store a lot, and there's a lot of old employees there. And one of my favorite Kinison stories is a guy who plays piano there said that he was at a party with Kinison, and that Sam had a mirror that was... they were at a party, and Sam had a mirror that was piled high with coke. And he was talking, and he passed the mirror behind him without looking to a woman who was 8 months pregnant. And everyone goes, "Sam, what are you doing?" He goes, "Oh, Jesus, I'm sorry. I didn't do that intentionally. I'm sorry." And they go, "Sam, she's giving birth next month." And he goes, "Yeah, well, yeah, but plus you don't want the kid coming out next month going, 'Where's the dealer's pager?'" Oh! And he said, the guy goes, a few days later, I'm driving over the Hollywood Hills with Sam, and I go, "Remember that party we were at where you tried to give that coke to that woman that was pregnant?" And he said, Sam's face is just blank. And he goes, "You don't remember that? When we were like, 'What are you doing? She's pregnant.' And then you had that great line. What was the line you said? You said, yeah, plus you don't want the kid coming out going, 'Where's the dealer's pager?' Oh. And he said, Sam just looked at him and went, "Oh, did I say that? I'm going to write that down. I'm going to do that on stage." "That's a great bit." Oh, yeah. Yeah, Sam was
I met him once. I didn't know him. I met him as a young comic.
Amazing.
He came out and talked to... We would do the open mic at Rascals, and he would do the main room. And he came out one time when he was sober and talked to us for a little while. He was really sweet. I mean, the fact that he talked to a couple of the young comics, and we had a few minutes with him. I wish it was longer, and I didn't do photos back then. But he was really awesome.
I have one photo with him, and I'm wearing a Bill Cosby type sweater. I can't even fucking hang it up anywhere.
Why? What's wrong with that? It's a great thing.
That's the worst sweater. Look at this.
Great.
There it is. Oh.
I know. And you were also emulating the Cosby behavior. It's perfect.
Look at that.
Oh my God, that
and
really
I'm making a fist.
Why? You were like, but the sweater comes all the way over your sleeve like a kid.
Christ. And that was before I was making $12,000 a year. That was before Buffalo, so I was probably making 10 there.
That's a good shot, though.
And I swear to you, this is how fucked up it is. I remember that being one of my go-to fucking sweaters.
Well, I should be. It's a good sweater. I hope you still have it. That's a hit. That's a home run.
Holy fuck.
That's really bad.
I can't post that anywhere.
Sure, you can. A nice blousy sweater.
It's been on my social media and all that, but I can't.
No, blow it up, get it framed, and just go with it.
Yeah.
Do you remember blousy sweaters, how popular they were? I fucking never met a blousy sweater I didn't love. I love a good blousy sweater.
Hey, one thing about Sam Kinison. So it's true that Carl LeBeau raised Sam Kinison's kid, right?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's the craziest story ever.
I heard about that the first time he came to L.A. I did a big show at the Roxy, and I stopped at the Comedy Store to talk to comics, and you know, it's the Comedy Store. It's legendary. And we started talking about Sam, and I remember I was in a group of comics, and someone in the group said, "Hey, have you guys ever seen Carl's kid? Ever seen Carl's kid?" You know? And then someone goes, "Shut up. Shut up." And he goes, "No, I'm just saying, have you seen his kid?" He goes, "Shut up." And everyone got really quiet, and I go, "What the fuck's going on?" And I pulled the guy aside, and I was like, "What was that all about?" And he goes, the kid doesn't look anything like Carl. It looks like Sam.
Right.
I mean, honest to God, it looks like Sam's kid. And then a couple years later, Carl called me up. He was getting ready to do some media appearances, and he said, "Hey, I just want to get your advice about something, and just want to tell you what I'm going on the air about tomorrow. I'm going to be talking about the fact that I found out just recently that my child that I had with my wife was not my child. It was Sam's kid.
Yeah.
That Sam had an affair."
But it was years later. How old was it?
Years later. Yeah.
Didn't he lose in court, too? Like, he went to court to not pay support or something?
The whole story's fucked
so
up.
Shitty.
Yeah, well, the thing is that she was aggressively chasing Carl down for child support, and then in a fight told him it's not even your kid.
Right.
And he said, and then he went to the court and said, "Hey, listen, this woman that I was married to has told me, admitted that it's not my child. And apparently the laws in California, if you are, even if you're a white guy and the kid comes out black, if your name is on that birth certificate as dad, you are responsible for that kid for 18 years. That's how I understand it.
That's ludicrous.
Yeah. It's, and he's, so he was trying to fight those laws. Carl is, in my opinion, one of the top 5 performers.
He was a fucking monster. I remember seeing him back in those full Rascal crowds.
Oh, yeah.
Carl LeBeau would go on and murder. He used to tour with Alan Stevens. You remember Alan Stevens, who was also one of those guys? And Alan would follow him. Alan was a guy who was mellower, and he would do crowd work. He was very funny, but I couldn't believe that he would follow fucking Carl. I mean, Carl was an animal on stage.
Carl, to this day, is still one of the top 5.
I haven't seen him in 10 years on stage.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in a while.
He's a really sweet guy.
He's an amazing storyteller. And then he ends up holding Sam in his arms as Sam dies.
Right.
And he's there holding Sam as Sam has this religious moment where he's talking and saying, I'm not ready. Oh, okay. And then he lets go.
Yeah, he swears that's true. That's what Kinison said as he's dying on the side of the road. Yeah. That he was actually talking to somebody that wasn't there.
Yeah, and Carl was like, no, it's, and he thought he was, Carl thought he was having the conversation with Sam, and he realized that Sam was,
talking to somebody else.
Yeah, talking to somebody else when he left. And yeah, it's really.
But Carl didn't know at that point that his daughter was, Sam's.
No. Yeah. And then I guess years later, after she turned 18, she wanted some answers. And Carl said he's in a comedy club goofing around with some other comics. And, hey, you're going on in 3 minutes. And then, excuse me, Carl? Yeah, I'm your daughter. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Carl LeBeau. And then he goes up on stage like, what the fuck? Yeah, and she showed up at one of his shows to, yeah, I mean, that's a heavy, I mean.
Wait, I'm a little confused there.
That Carl was getting ready to go on stage. He's at a comedy club, and then a girl walked up to him and said,
this is a whole nother girl.
No, this is his daughter that he lost touch with. And
his legitimate daughter. It's really his. Okay.
Well, no, it's the one that Sam fathered.
Okay.
That he
I thought that's how he got in touch with
I thought they were in touch the whole time.
No, they weren't in touch the whole time.
Okay,
no.
That's why I was confused.
No.
Okay, so
sorry about that. But
that
was my shitty storytelling.
Where's Carl been? I haven't seen him. Like I never see him around or anything. I'm sure he's on the road.
He's on the road. In fact, one of the clubs I'm coming to soon in Tampa, Side Splitters. I know that Carl's on the calendar in the next month or two down at Side Splitters, and he still tours. And I'm telling you, he's one of the top 5 all time. I mean, he's just...
Carl's such a funny stand-up, man. Really underrated. I haven't seen him in so many years, but I remember that when I would go see Sam. Actually, I probably saw Sam 4 or 5 times live, maybe 4 times. And Carl would always tour with him. He was so great.
It would always bum me out as a fan of stand-up comedy. I would meet or radio guys. I would meet comics or radio guys who I was a big fan of, and I would meet them later in their career, and they would be bitter.
Yeah.
And shitty.
Of course.
And it would bum me out like, oh man, you brought so much fucking joy to my life, and look at you. You don't even get it.
They always say you should never meet your heroes.
Yeah. But Carl.
I do every morning in the mirror. That's positivity, ladies and gentlemen. You feel how you feel, and I feel how I feel.
But Carl is a rarity. He's an anomaly in that he's actually has more light in him now than he ever has. He was really dark back when he was part of the...
He looks great. I'm looking at a pretty recent picture.
Boy, the Outlaws of Comedy.
Outlaws of Comedy.
It was Hicks, Alan
Schubert.
Stevens. Was Jimmy Schubert one of those?
Jimmy Schubert with his really long hair.
The original Outlaws in Houston were Hicks,
Alan Stevens, no? Mitchell Walters.
Yep, those guys. Yeah, well, Sam ended up traveling, and then Sam would have Paulie out with him as one of the Outlaws. Schubert. But there was another guy who lives in Portland now who was Hicks' best friend. Like Carl and Sam both started stand up on the same night. And then the same thing happened with Bill Hicks and another guy who I can't think of his name. Dwight Slade?
And the names behind you are Ron Schock, who just died, Steve Epstein, who I don't know, Carl, Riley Barber, who I don't know, John Fernetti, I don't know, and Jimmy Pineapple, who I don't know. I don't know if they're still doing stand up or maybe they're writing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't go too deep with the
Sam,
whole Outlaw.
Someone gave me
Texas Outlaws.
A bootleg of Sam early on in his career where he was talking about, and he never released this, but I thought it was genius. He was talking about Nostradamus, and he said, I've been reading this story. This guy Nostradamus. Here's a guy who, during his time, was able to predict major world events. Was able to predict major world wars. He even predicted the rise of Hitler, almost fucking named the guy. And if you know anything about Nostradamus, he said there's going to be a time and a place where the great Hister will rise and cause more bloodshed than anyone before him. And Sam's piece was, and I'm reading that, it's very fascinating. And I go, wait a second. Wait a second. What if Hister hasn't shown up yet? What if this is the guy that's going to make Hitler look like a pussy? Oh! Like, yeah, it was brilliant. It was genius. I mean, even his early stuff, he did an interview with Bob Costas on that later show, and Bob Costas said, I used to go watch you in the early 80s when your entire routine was about that day's obituaries. And Sam explained that he would get on stage and go, hey, folks, my name's Sam Kinison. I want to thank you guys for coming out tonight. Thanks for supporting stand-up comedy. And I'm glad you guys could make it. I'll tell you a couple people that you won't be seeing here tonight. And he get out the obituaries and start reading that day's obituaries. He goes, like, is this Esther Goldstein? No, she didn't catch the bus. She's not here tonight. But if you want to see Esther's work, it'll be displayed on Friday at Evergreen Mortuary.
Oh my God!
What kind of fucking show is that? I mean, he was a genius.
That'd be a wonderful show to go to.
I miss Sam Kinison. He was one of a kind.
The family's working on a bunch of different projects.
Yeah.
I know there was
they were trying to get a movie going.
A movie in the works.
Who was it? Was it Josh? Gad. It was Josh Gad. They were looking
Someone sent me a tape of your show that Jimmy was nice enough to say, hey, you know who does a great impression of Sam is comedian Craig Gash. You ever heard of him? And he goes, yeah, I'm actually watching video and I'm going to steal it from him. And I was like, geez, fucking call me. I'll work on the show with you.
Josh Gad said that?
He said that on your show.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, and he said, yeah, I'm watching tapes to steal the impression from him.
I do a lot of impressions. I don't do him. Kinison's a hard one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a hard one. You have to yell. You have to yell. I don't like to yell.
Who do you do, though, Jimmy?
Please, who don't I do? It's just crazy.
I love Jimmy's impressions.
Yeah, there's too many of them. The name's embarrassing.
Cosby is the best one.
Oh, yeah.
Craig, are you going on the Kiss cruise again? I need to know, because if you're going on it, I want to go on it.
They just booked me, and it was announced yesterday, which I'm shocked because
of the stories you tell.
Their fans, the Kiss fans, were really sensitive about something I did that was it was a joke.
Yeah.
I did the Kiss cruise years ago, and I met a girl on the cruise who's like a cruise director, and when she found out that I was a comedian, she goes, oh, you're the guy who does all the voices, the Family Guy, and hey, oh my God, do you want to do a funny announcement on this ship? And I went, oh, fuck yeah. Like, is everyone going to hear it? And she goes, yeah, it gets piped into every cabin.
room or cabin. Right?
And the next morning, everyone on the Kiss cruise woke up to, hey, everybody, this is Paul Stanley, and this is Gene Simmons from Kiss, and we have a very important announcement. Do not panic, but we have a very important announcement. It seems that the Kiss cruise has just hit an iceberg, which, keep in mind, we're in the middle of the
Caribbean,
fucking
right?
Bahamas. Yeah. There's no reason for you as an intelligent person to go, this ship's going down.
Right.
But do not panic, because Kiss is going to take care of everybody, okay? We actually have 3 packages to get you off the ship. First, we have the platinum package, which is $5,000, which is we put you in a life raft and you have your own private photo taken with Kiss. Then we have the platinum package. Isn't that right, Paul? That's right, the platinum package for $10,000, which is we throw you in the ocean with Tommy and Eric, and then Kiss floats by on a raft, and we do a private acoustic show in the ocean. Everything I said was stupid, but apparently a couple of the passengers on the ship actually got upset and went to the employees and said, is Kiss really going to charge us to get off the boat? We'd really hit an iceberg, and that Kiss was going to stand at the exits going, hold on, get your Kiss credit cards out. I know Jimmy's always been a huge Kiss fan.
Yes, I am.
Yeah?
Since I was a boy.
And do they, I know obviously Black Sabbath and Ozzy, they treat you really well. Do you get, are they nice to you when you go to Kiss shows too?
It's funny. I haven't gone to a Kiss show in so many years. I've seen those guys. We've interviewed all of them. The only guy we can't get back in is Paul Stanley. I don't know why. I don't think Paul likes me. I love Paul Stanley so much. I don't think he likes me.
Why would he like you?
I don't know. Maybe not.
You got to get him back in.
I enjoy him so much. But no, the Sabbath guys I know better than Kiss. Although I think I've talked to Kiss more, but I don't know.
Jimmy was really nice to me at I went to see Ace Frehley.
That's right.
A couple years ago at BB King's, and a buddy of mine who's working with Ace Frehley goes, "Hey, I'll bring you backstage and I'll introduce you to Ace." And he goes, "Ace, this is my friend Craig Gass. He's a stand-up comedian." He goes, "I love stand-up comedy. How are you?" And I go, real quick, and I go, "All right, well, nice to meet you." And I walk out. And then a few hours later, I see Jimmy, and Jimmy's in line for the official meet and greet. And Jimmy goes, "Hey, you want to meet Ace?" I go, I met him before the show. And he goes, "Oh, hang out with me. I'll introduce you to him again." And we walk up, and Jimmy goes, "Hey, Ace, how you doing?" He goes, "Jimmy, how are you?" And he goes, "Hey, this is my friend Craig Gass. He's a stand-up comedian." He goes, "Oh, I love stand-up comedy. I just met him 3 hours earlier."
That's a great Ace, by the way.
And we're having the same fucking conversation.
Yeah, Ace is a little loopy, I think.
What is your most obscure impression?
I do. I'm sorry.
What's your most obscure?
I do
one?
Millard Fillmore.
I actually love doing horrible impressions. I love doing because there's some impressions I can't nail down, and my friends will go, "That's not."
Well, who do you have trouble doing? I'll help you. I'll walk you through it.
Yeah. And then I'll try to qualify it and say, well, it's not, like my friends will go, "Oh, that's not Arnold Schwarzenegger." And I'll go, "Well, dude, it's not, I'm not trying to do, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger after a bad car accident." And that way I can get away with, because it's just a horrible impression. But I do an impression that it's not Mark Wahlberg, but it's something I call out of breath Mark Wahlberg. And it's just a constant, "Guys, are you serious? You're not going to let Jimmy do his impressions? Come on, buddy. You got to do this." That's the whole impression. It's the dumbest. Or what was that guy that used to do the late night show after on CBS, Tom Snyder?
Paul Hogan.
Tom Snyder, which is just going out of a big laugh right into a question. It's just, "Let me ask you something." That's the whole impression. It's like I
don't remember what he sounded like.
He did that though.
Is he still alive?
Tom? No, I don't think
he died.
so. Yeah, he's gone.
God rest his soul.
Yeah.
What year did he pass?
2007.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess. I was right.
I was always scared to do impressions in stand-up because when I first started doing stand-up, I heard everybody would say like, "Oh, fuck, this guy's doing impressions." So I didn't do it for a few years because I realized that comics hated when someone would do impressions.
Comics hate bad impressions. Comics hate hacky. Like Gene's an original, or Paul, or Kinison. Those are ones that are kind of unique to you to do so well.
Yeah.
Jay Moore does brilliant fucking Harvey Keitel. Does a great Colin. Jay's are so. I mean, Walken, but he's the guy who did Walken before a million people did Walken.
Right.
So
I like when they're different. I like when they're ones you really haven't heard anyone else do.
Bill Hader does Alan Alda, which makes me want to hug him.
Yeah.
The fact that anybody does Alan Alda makes me so. I mean, I do a really amazing Alan Alda as well.
Let's hear it.
Yes. Thanks, Travis. Travis knows.
Are most comedians who do impressions, like if you ask them to do it and it's not on like their time, they get upset about it? Because I was on a TV show.
I don't.
You don't mind.
I just lapse right into it naturally. Free flow.
A comic was like, "Well, I do that in my show."
Who'd you ask him to do?
I don't want to say.
No. What voice?
I don't want to say because then people will know who the comic is. But he just was like,
I don't think you're telling tales out of school, as they say, just by saying that your comic didn't want to do an impression. I mean, I don't think that's a negative thing.
It was DMX.
I don't even know who does DMX.
Yeah. So, but then he was going to do it on the show, and so I think it was like I was like, "Oh, was I rude?" Because I had known he did that.
I did it. I mean, for me, I never wanted to be a stand-up comedian. I backed into it. I got good at impressions because I would get free cocaine for doing impressions for friends at parties. So that's how I got good at doing impressions. And I also got a really bad coke habit out of it. But,
of course.
But
did they ever hold back the coke? Because they're like, you got to work on your Pacino a little more before you...
Well, yeah, because the impressions would get so jacked up. Yeah, the impressions would get so jacked up and be like, "Yeah, this is fucking... Hey, man, I just like... Hey, wait a second, no!" Yeah, it was like the impression would just get...
Pacino is easy, though. Yeah. You're out of order, you're out of order. Right? Or the new one. It's a piece of cake.
I love doing obscure impressions. Every year I go to the Super Bowl and I'll join Radio Buddies at the Super Bowl Media Center. And before any real celebrities show up later in the week, I'll have friends say, hey, do you mind joining us as a couple celebrities just to make it sound cool to everybody listening back in Philly or back in Tampa or whatever. And my go-to impression for that, and it's the dumbest, most random impression, is Tom Arnold. And I did it at the Super Bowl, and Tom ended up in arguments with people on Twitter because I was joining people and they were saying, so are you having fun at the Super Bowl? I'm doing great. It's, I was at a Cocaine Anonymous, meeting last night with, Joe Theismann. I don't know if you, I probably shouldn't say that out loud, but Joe Theismann, Bob Costas is a sponsor. And again, I shouldn't say that, but Bob's addicted to meth. And, but anyways, and then people.
That's a great fucking Tom Arnold.
That's a great Arnold.
And people started tweeting Tom Arnold saying, like, you asshole, it's supposed to be anonymous. And Tom started fighting with everybody and saying, did you notice that fucking Sam Kinison was also on that show, you fucking idiot? He's been dead for 20 years, you moron. And yeah, that's great. Whatever. But yeah, I love doing obscure random impressions, and Jimmy nailed it. It's like I feel embarrassed that I can do some voices that are like more mainstream, but the weird impressions.
Oh no, then you
those are the ones
some
you
of
feel
those
great
out.
about.
Yeah, those are the ones I really appreciate.
I prefer the obscure and the mainstream, but I do them all. Like yeah, it's one of those things where you just do them.
You haven't done any of your obscure ones yet.
People haven't asked for them. I mean, I don't just do them. I'm humble.
I think like an Eddie Vedder, maybe. Eddie Vedder's not one that a lot of people do.
Yeah, but Jay does Eddie. I don't want to step on his.
That's true. Jay Moore does do it.
Easy. Right, Travis, right or wrong?
I closed my eyes and it was you.
Good. Get back there working.
Like Eddie's in the room.
Craig, I got to ask you one more thing before we have Anthrax. They're going to perform for us today.
I love those guys.
And only because we brought it up earlier. I forgot, but both your parents are deaf.
My whole family's deaf.
Except for you?
Everyone except me.
Wow, I envy them.
Yeah.
How many people are we talking?
My mom, my dad, and my sister are all completely deaf. And my mom was born completely deaf from a birth defect. My dad was born with all his hearing. He lost it when he was a kid. He got into an accident that popped out his eardrums. So met my mom at an all-deaf school, and they got married. Had my sister first. My sister's born with my mom's genes, completely deaf, and then I'm born with my dad's genes with all my hearing, and I'm the only one in my family who can hear, and that's why.
So you speak fluent sign language, obviously?
Yeah.
Oh, you do? Okay.
And I never got an accent from the Bronx. I grew up in Mount Vernon, right up the road here,
sure.
And I never got an accent from the Bronx, and everybody in the Bronx has a really thick accent that I never got because I grew up in a deaf family. Everyone sounds like Tracy Morgan. Everybody in the Bronx talk like this, whether you black or white, male or female. That's crazy. That's crazy. Hey, this is the voice of your next door neighbor, and I'm a Vietnamese girl. That's crazy. So I learned how to talk by copying all the voices I heard on TV. So
they never got to appreciate your stand up or your voices or anything.
I would do it.
Have they gone to your shows and then at the end said, why are all these people sitting quietly?
You know what? I'm doing the Tempe Improv in October, and they're coming to one of the shows.
That's amazing.
And I have to have interpreters. We were talking about interpreters to interpret the show.
How was that growing up? I guess you just didn't know any better in the house.
You know what I learned is like
that's a quiet house, though.
Well, yeah, but you can make as much noise as you want.
It was
you
the
just
loudest,
sneak out anytime you want.
Loudest house. I could crank up my stereo. I was always cursing. It was there's no one there to tell me to turn anything down, and
so weird.
Yeah, that's got to be a very. But if you grew up that way, it's probably not bizarre because it's all
right.
You know.
You come home from school and
you don't.
You have the run of the place.
What I found really interesting is that people were always sensitive around my family. They were afraid of saying something inappropriate or offensive, and meanwhile, the most fucked up deaf jokes I've ever heard were from my own deaf family.
That's always the case.
Yeah, I took my sister out to dinner. What was it? Last Christmas we were at dinner, and she's signing to me, and she said, "Do you want to hear a good joke?" And I said, "Sure." And she goes, "Me too." And I was like, "Oh my God, what the fuck?" Jesus. Yeah.
Hey, what was the documentary about the older people, both deaf, got their hearing back?
Yeah.
or for the first time, and they didn't want it. It was too much. Yeah. The sensory input. They were like senior citizens. The sensory input was too much, and they couldn't handle a life of silence. And then this fucking the world being so loud,
being attacked by noise.
Deaf people have this thing about their culture that they're very anti-cochlear implants. And I remember my mom once saying, I wouldn't want to have all that noise and be bothered by all the noise, which I thought might have been a cop-out until I heard that Deaf Miss America, she did an interview when she said after she got the cochlear implants that she was just on a road trip and she just was going crazy from sounds. She kept hearing this popping sound and she didn't know what it was. And it was one of her kids chewing gum.
That's all it was.
And it drove her crazy. And it's like to suddenly go from a totally silent world your entire life to just noise.
To every sound you pick up on,
I would assume if you could just deal with it, that a lot of that would go away and it would enhance your life, no?
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge adjustment. Of course,
I get it being unbelievable, but then you slowly, get used to it. Yeah. Would your parents want to do that?
They never had a desire to do that as that technology.
Is it possible for them?
I think so.
Your parents possibly could hear, and they've chosen they don't need to do that.
Exactly.
No kidding.
At that age, my dream is to work in a facility like that and be the first sound people hear. That's my dream. Like the moment they can hear the first sound, I'm going to walk up and just go, show me your pecker. Hey, what's going on?
So this is the question. Anthrax just arrived, so we got a few more minutes before the break. So Jamey Jasta from Hatebreed is here. He says that at shows he's got to get an interpreter for the deaf, and I didn't understand why anyone that's deaf would go to like a metal show. Can you explain that? What that's about?
Deaf people love music, and they like to feel the vibrations from music. And they read the lyrics, and then when they go to the shows, that's when they get the experience of knowing how the lyrics match up to the song. I remember that Prince, 20 years ago, he came out with a new album, and he wanted to debut it by doing a live show at Gallaudet University, the all-deaf university, because he dug that the way they got into music, the way they felt the vibrations and felt the sound, and he wanted to debut that album with deaf people. They feel the vibrations and they're into it, and they love having the interpreter, filling in the blanks.
So they're probably big on like fucking hip hop and anything really bass heavy, because that's,
you would think, yeah, you would think.
Yeah, they're not into soft rock. Are your parents actually into certain bands?
My mom, like when I was growing up, getting into like Guns N' Roses and whatever, she would watch it and kind of like, bounce along. She'd put her hand on the speaker and feel the speaker and kind of bounce her head along to it. So yeah, I mean, they're really into the feel of music, that aesthetic of the feel.
Does she know when a band sucks, or is it all just about feeling the actual vibrations?
Yeah, she doesn't know that I suck. I mean, she's still coming to my shows, but yeah, she's. That's how they feel the music. Is they,
When did you? At what age did you feel like I could really communicate with my parents now? Because you had to learn the sign language.
It was before I
could even remember.
Yeah, because as a kid you can do sign language when you're.
Yeah, you know what? I was supposed to do that. They say they'd get them young and then teach them. They'll sign all sorts of shit before they start
did that with
talking.
my daughter. Signing Times, the DVD. She could do all that.
Why does your daughter need to? She's deaf?
No. They say before kids could talk, you could actually communicate with them by showing them sign language.
Yeah, and they can learn sign language as a baby. They can do for really young milk and whatever. They can learn signs as a baby.
Pretty amazing.
And she taught me sign language. Taught me the alphabet when I was a kid, and she said I learned the alphabet in about an hour. She said so. It's easy for a baby to. Or not, I wasn't a baby. I think I was 2 or 3 when I learned that. So.
Well, it's like I always say, the language of the heart is silent. I mean, I say that a lot.
You do. Huh?
Yeah, people are tired of hearing me say it, but I never get tired of it.
I fucking love Jimmy.
All right, listen, we should get a break in, and then we're going to go down the hall to the Fishbowl. Anthrax is playing for us today.
Awesome. Love Anthrax.
2 songs and then maybe a cover. That's going to be cool. Craig Gass in studio. What do we got here? What do you want to promote there, Craig?
All the dates are at getgas.com. Get Gas with 2 S's. I'm in New Hope, Minnesota. That theater. You've been to the New Hope
No, I'm doing the Varsity Theater tomorrow night. I don't know where I really am in Minneapolis.
In Minneapolis?
Yeah.
I'm doing the Improv in Tempe next month. Side Splitters coming up. There's a bunch of dates. It's all at
That's a great room
getgas.com.
in Tampa. I love that fucking club, man.
Yeah?
Love it.
It's actually my first time doing that club.
It's really cool. Bobby Jewell's a psycho, the guy who runs it.
Yeah,
I really like it down there.
Jamey Jasta from Hatebreed. Where we
Check out gasdigitalnetwork.com. Craig's going to be on the show, and there's a bunch of there's like 180 episodes up on the archive. Subscribe. Use the coupon code JASTA.
Yeah,
I always have fun when I'm talking to Jamey on this podcast.
Yeah, Jamey does pretty good with this.
There's a great episode with Craig and Corey Taylor where there's...
Well, Corey never reveals himself as Corey. He comes in as Zach Wild. He does a Zach Wild
impression.
a
Zach Wild
impression.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear that.
Yeah, we always share stories about random metal like Yngwie.
Yeah.
Like what an asshole Yngwie Malmsteen is. My favorite, I know you're going to commercial, my favorite, a friend of mine, I won't say his name, but a friend of mine worked for Yngwie Malmsteen, and he told me that 3 days into the tour, one of the guitar techs is talking to him and says, "So where do you live?" And he goes, I live in Phoenix. He goes, I thought you lived in Vegas. He goes, no, I live in Phoenix. He goes, oh, so you live by yourself then? And he goes, well, I live with my wife. And a kid. We have a kid. And the guy goes, you're married? And he goes, yeah, what? Why? And he goes, I thought you were gay. And he goes, why'd you think I was gay? And he said, Yngwie's been telling everyone you're a homosexual. And he goes, really? And he said, yeah, but he's being really cool about it. Because on the first day of the tour, he gathered everybody together and he said, hey, guys, no faggot jokes, because he pointed at my buddy. He's just out of his mind. I love those stories.
Nice.
Sorry to interrupt. I know you're going to...
Oh, no, it's all right. Jimmy has got a lot going on.
Yeah, I just... tomorrow night's Mini Varsity. Saturday's Pitts. Heading over to Pitts, doing the Rex Theater. Toronto, Ontario, for those of you up there and our great northern neighbors. I'll be at the Queen Elizabeth Theater September the 24th, 2 shows. And then I zip on down to West Nyack to entertain you in September the 29th through October the 1st. Those are the last shows before I shoot my special, October 7th in Washington, D.C. at the Lincoln Theater. Right. I'm shooting Mouthful of Shame. And then I guess I go to Reno the week after that, or sometime later in the month. That's my last gig for a long time.
Very good.
Love Jimmy.
Thank you.
Coming back with Anthrax. They're performing. Then we got Mory Povich a little later. Craig Gass and Jamey Jasta sticking around.
Love Travis Mory. Teft will be fired, but
Travis will be
Miss Travis,
right?
Yeah, Teftology.
And I want to get into the Hillary Clinton using old Opie and Anthony audio in her latest commercial ad. It's amazing. I know. Look at Craig Gass.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. That's amazing.
From an old interview we did with Donald Trump. We could at least play this, but we'll get into it a little later. She tweeted this out yesterday. A man's role in child care, according to Donald Trump. And listen to what she uses. Message from your possible next president on child care.
Do you actually change diapers?
No, I don't do that.
He's not good. Not one, right?
No, I don't do it. It's not my thing. There are a lot of women out there that, demand that the husband act like the wife.
Yeah.
And, there are a lot of husbands that listen to that.
The music is great. Douchey music. It's like a parody.
When you get around to that, I want to tell you, you guys had a great analysis of Trump on your show that really, really, years before he ran, that I thought, wow, that's such a great fucking... Ever since you guys pointed it out, it was like...
What was it?
It was just that you pointed out that anytime anyone says anything remotely negative about Donald, he just shits on them, regardless of who they are. And I remember that Jerry Seinfeld said something that was mildly... I don't agree with his politics. Yeah. And Donald Trump said, let's be honest, he's not funny. He doesn't he doesn't appeal to smart people. He just shit on Jerry Seinfeld's career of all the comedians.
He did it to us. He did it to us. He called us slobs. We made the paper just because
he was just reading from the bio.
All we said was he came on our show to something with the Rosie O'Donnell thing. So we were bragging that we got Donald Trump in an exclusive where he was trashing Rosie on our show, but we said something in there, and he's like, I don't need their show. They're a bunch of slobs, and it was all quoted in the paper. Wow. Going back to your point, he just can't take any tiny little criticism.
He just fucking fires nuclear bombs at people.
Yeah. When that Hillary thing hit yesterday, all I was thinking about how that's got to be driving Anthony nuts.
He thought it was funny. He thought it was really funny. Yeah.
I would assume he would find it funny, of course, but also, that Hillary is using audio of me and Anthony to go after Trump.
Yeah.
We got a break. I got to piss.
Okay, coming back with Anthrax. Stay there.
On with the show.
Anthrax going to do some acoustic songs for us. We're
a few minutes behind because those guys are warming up down there.
They're doing their sound check.
Yeah, there was an accident in the tunnel or something.
For real?
I think so. There was some kind of traffic.
There's always some shit.
Yeah. Well, that's the Big Apple.
One stupid car, and that's it.
Yeah.
One dumb car, and then everything goes bad.
Merritt Parkway, same thing.
You would think in this day and age we would have that figured out where one car doesn't ruin everyone's commute. But no, we got Craig Gass, we got Jim Norton, we got Jamey Jasta, Anthrax very, very soon, and also Mory Povich. The other thing about Hillary is, did you see the news report where they announced her death? That's going viral.
I heard about that. I couldn't find the clip.
It's going viral. We got it.
I want to hear that.
Although we have no one in studio right now. Paul, I need the Hillary.
Paul, back to work.
The anchor's announcing Hillary's death a couple days ago.
But if she was really sick, why would she keep the campaign rolling? Like, what's the benefit if the inevitable is that she's really sick?
Well, the question is, why did the anchor say she's dead? Like,
by the way, why won't he disclose physical results on Dr. Oz?
Oh, now he won't. Because he's not healthy.
I don't know if he's healthy. I mean, I don't know.
My humble opinion, he's way overweight, doesn't look like he exercises, and also, every time you see him eating, it's something shitty.
But how come him and Hillary are not forced to give their medical results if you're going to be president? How the fuck do we not have the right to know that?
I would want both candidates to release all their medical records. Absolutely.
Trump proudly boasts that he loves to eat fast food.
Yeah,
right?
I believe he said that over the years. Joe Biden has challenged Trump to go jogging with him. That's how convinced Joe Biden is that he is not healthy, as he's telling everybody. Who knows?
Cardio suspect.
Trump is he 70, 69?
He just turned 70.
Let's see if Dr. Oz does that, but he might not be allowed to without Trump's consent.
I heard Oz being interviewed and basically saying, "Look, I'll tell the numbers of anything that Trump allows me to." So he's not gonna push Trump on anything.
That's ridiculous.
So basically, if Trump goes, "Yeah, you could read this, this, and this," that's how it's going to go.
Okay,
down.
so he's not releasing his taxes or his health stuff.
No.
Same as Hillary not releasing her health stuff, and we just tolerate it.
We tolerate all of it. So Oz is going to give Trump just a basic fluff interview today is what is going to happen. Because he basically said, I'm not going to push him on anything. It's really up to Trump.
Stinks.
Dr. Oz said
it does.
It's really up to Trump what he wants to reveal on my show today.
Legally, that's probably correct, but Dr. Oz can just shut up.
They all stink.
Dumb Mamet Oz.
Yeah.
Fucking buzz off. Pardon my French.
And who said it? You said if Hillary's really sick, what were you saying?
Yeah, like why keep the campaign rolling? Like what does she have to benefit if something bad is
And then
inevitable?
Obama killed it in Philly yesterday. And I don't know if he would be going as rah, rah, rah if he had the inside scoop that she was truly, really deathly sick.
He would, though, just to get Trump out of there. Oh, my God.
The whole thing is confusing to
Hanks
me,
at the end of Philadelphia, he'd be pushing if it wasn't Trump.
He wants to get Trump back. That's true. So, I guess, they're all just a bunch of fucking phonies then. So how sick do you think she really is?
I mean, that video where
she's passing out.
Yeah, the foot's dragging, right? And and then she's wearing the glasses now with the seizure glasses.
She left a shoe behind. I don't want my president leaving shoes behind.
No, not at all.
TMZ printed a photo of the shoe, and it didn't match the shoes that she was wearing. They have pictures of the shoes she was wearing, and then the shoe that was documented as here's the shoe she left behind was like a leopard print. It wasn't even the same print.
Yeah,
and it caught on, and it went viral.
So did she leave a shoe behind or not?
It's not that same shoe. She didn't. I mean, if she did, it's not the shoe.
No. The Zapruder film says one thing, and then that is another. I don't think she left a shoe behind.
Then that's someone else's shoe.
That's someone else's shoe that made the rounds.
Yeah, I don't know how sick she is, but I know how smart she is.
Yeah?
The day she was dehydrated, she wasn't even smart enough to take a drink of water.
Mic drop.
Just drop the mic.
Kenny with the
All right,
mic
see you
drop.
later, Kenny.
I love how he leaves us with that. And then he walks away.
And he did the closest thing you could do to a mic drop. He just moved the microphone down and walked away.
You're going into the most stressful job in the world, right? And you have all these people's livelihood and lives on the line. You got to be of sound health.
Yeah,
I agree with that. And then now she's saying she has pneumonia, but then she's like puts her arm around a kid outside Chelsea's apartment, so everyone's pissed off about that. If you know you have pneumonia, why would you be touching kids?
The staged hug. I heard it was staged.
We have our fucking two presidential candidates are what, 70 years old?
Yeah.
We have two old people running.
Yeah.
She's right around 70 herself.
Oh my God, she's 69, right, or 68?
Somewhere, she's at least 68. No,
she'll be 70 when she's done. We have two senior citizens running for president.
I should just go with your point instead of thinking, I think she actually might be 69.
No, but she might be. It's like, but
you're
there's
right.
two old people.
Of course.
Right. You need somebody in good shape.
Oh,
I mean, the singer
God.
from Styx is in better shape than Donald.
Oh, I love Dennis DeYoung. Or were you talking about Tommy Shaw? I'll go either way.
I go Tommy Shaw, if you need to know.
I did.
Pull a picture of him up.
Mr. Roboto, that'd be my campaign song. I don't know about you.
Mr. Ripped Bottom.
He's a well-manicured man. He doesn't look like anybody else in the band. He's like super coiffed, like all of his...
If that's not a case for TRT and HGH, I don't know.
Oh, Dennis DeYoung or Tommy Shaw?
Tommy Shaw
Does he do
good.
TRT?
I don't know. I don't know what he does,
He looks
but
young.
he looks great. And how old is he?
He's got to be at
55,
least
60?
60.
No, he's got to be older than 60.
I go at least. That's good. 63.
Yeah.
1963 for Tommy Shaw. We had him in here a few years back.
What about Springsteen?
Cool.
He's probably 69. Look at him.
You're born in the USA?
He's in better shape than Trump too. See, get a rocker in office.
What about Springsteen's kid? She just made $330,000.
What?
She knows her way around a horse.
No way.
Yeah, what's her sport again? It's in the paper. It's a rich man's sport, but it turns out Springsteen's daughter Jessica is really good at it. And she won some kind of competition. She won $330,000.
Wow, I'd love to take her out.
I didn't even know he had a daughter.
What is the million?
So she
Grand
sold
Prix?
a horse?
No, she's one of those competitions.
Oh, I thought you meant she bet on a horse.
No, I'm sorry. No, she
competed. She competed in England's esteemed Royal Windsor Horse Show.
Yeah, some kind of horse jumping event. I think I don't know that world, but she won $330,000. She really knows what she's doing.
Well, she's really cute, too.
See, I saw him play like literally 3.5 hours, and I'm like, I could never do that, and I'm 39, so yeah.
He's an animal.
He's a maniac.
I finally went to my first Springsteen show a couple years back. I fucking loved it. And I was never a huge Springsteen fan, except for the basics like anyone else. Didn't really go deep. But I loved it.
The deep cuts is all he plays.
I love going to concerts, but I've never seen Springsteen live. I was never a huge fan, but I want to go and just experience once. But I've never been.
It was amazing.
Everyone that's into Springsteen seems to be really into Springsteen.
Yes.
It just never... I'm a big Billy Joel fan, but I never got into Springsteen.
I love that he'll crowd surf out, get a sign of like one of the songs, and then crowd surf back and play the song, and the band knows it.
Really?
Yeah, and the night that I saw him in Jones Beach, the Max's kid, who now plays in Slipknot, he filled in and ripped it.
Right. So no kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really looks like he's still completely enjoying it. He doesn't have to do it anymore. Springsteen doesn't need any more money. Is Anthrax just about ready there?
Yeah, a few more minutes.
A few more minutes? Okay. Let's play the Hillary thing. So the news, local news here in New York, did this a couple days back. Mediaite.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Sandra Bookman.
And I'm Joe Torres. We begin with the breaking news about Hillary Clinton's death. Hillary Clinton's doctor has just revealed the presidential candidate has been diagnosed with pneumonia.
He meant to say health.
Yeah, it was just a slip up, but still.
It's my first time hearing that. I thought they actually pronounced her dead, but that's just a
slip up.
Yeah. I love watching those slip. My favorite slip up is the news anchor.
Keep fucking that chicken?
No, the one who says, looks right in the camera and goes, when we come back, we're going to tell you about a man who climbed Mount Everest, even though, get this, he's gay. Oh my God, no, he's blind. I'm sorry. No, he's blind. He's blind.
I think we can play that one. Can you find that real fast?
The level of intensity on her face when she goes, this little fucking twink, check this out.
Yeah.
She's so...
Yeah. With a Sherpa in his colon.
Let's hear this.
Right after the break, we're going to interview Eric Weihenmayer, who climbed the highest mountain in the world, Mount Everest. But he's gay. I mean, he's gay. Excuse me. He's blind. So we'll hear about that.
It's the confidence.
Oh, that's
But hear
funny.
this. He's gay.
He's a fucking fruit. Can
He's
you
a
believe it?
flamer.
Yeah.
Wait, he's blind. Sorry, he's not gay. He thought it was a lollipop. He didn't know what he was doing. He thought it was a hairless pussy that smelled like shit. He didn't mean to be a homosexual. He's blind.
Oh, I don't know. My favorite though is the guy with the fucking shit.
Oh, that guy's the greatest.
South Dakota?
Can we play it again?
South Dakota.
Yeah.
His whole news career started and ended in one fucking
AJ
day.
Clemente, my hero.
But
This
he got
is
on-
my favorite one.
Ended up on Letterman. Letterman got everyone. Everyone. He was.
And now he's like a bartender, last I heard.
He was.
This is my favorite of all time.
Fucking Nick Nervous.
North Dakota News, your news leader in high definition.
Gay. Good evening, I'm Van Q. You may have seen our newest report, AJ, on...
Oh, they're beeping it out. Go to the other one.
North Dakota.
This stinks.
Oh, yeah, fuck the beeping.
Funny WTF video. Let's try that.
Dreams in Motion organization has a fun time for the disabled. A deadly avalanche kills 5 in Colorado.
You're watching the Evening Sunday on NBC North Dakota News, your news leader in high definition.
Gay. Fucking shit. Good evening, I'm Van Q. You may have seen our newest report, AJ, on NBC North Dakota News, and he'll be joining the weekend news team as my co-anchor. Tell us a little bit about yourself, AJ.
Thanks, Van. I'm very excited. I graduated from West Virginia University, and I'm used to, from being from the East Coast.
Okay, well, welcome aboard, AJ.
What? Now, did he have a stroke? Like, what happened there?
I think he was
nervous.
He was panicking because he couldn't,
panicked and he was cursing.
He couldn't pronounce this guy's name. I forget now which guy, what he was trying to pronounce.
If he was yelling gay fucking shit, probably Norton.
He was pronouncing, thinking that's how it's pronounced, though.
I mean, I identify with, being on the air for the first time. You're nervous. You want to make sure you're saying something right. But that's a...
And then she's like, welcome aboard. Hey, play it.
I ID with this.
It's that his head pops up in the middle of it when someone is clearly going, you're on the air, you fuck!
Yeah, and he's like, holy shit, I'm live. Did they just hear that? So that's in the back of his head.
Yep.
He's nervous because it's his first time as an anchor. I guess he was like just a reporter for a while. Yeah, push play.
Thanks.
Go for it.
A fatal ATV crash happened yesterday in Williams County. Officials say Kevin George rolled with his ATV while turning from Canal to 150. A fatal ATV crash happened yesterday.
I thought there was something else there, but okay.
He pulled it together.
Did he?
No.
Fired.
That poor guy.
So fired.
Yeah, he got on Letterman. He did a bunch of national appearances, and I don't know what he did after that. I mean, why couldn't he still try to capitalize on that notoriety?
I don't think he was a great. I don't think he was a great guy, like announcer, or anchor.
He sucked to begin with.
I don't think he was great.
The answer.
A little nervous.
It was just a tiny little market, and then you start your career with gay fucking shit.
Yeah.
That's a tough one to come back from.
People are such fucking babies on Twitter if you don't like their politics. This guy on Twitter is like, Hillary was the most traveled secretary in state, and she can handle the presidency. Such an uninformed show. Shut up.
It's not uninformed. She looks extremely unhealthy.
She doesn't look healthy, dude.
And we all know, I mean, it's been said a million times, these guys go into office and they age horribly.
Exactly.
It only gets worse.
Yeah.
And it seems like they're holding something back medically from her now. I said this the other day, Craig and Jamie and Jim. I wasn't buying the health stuff like everybody else. I'm like, it's wear and tear. This is a stressful thing to be campaigning. I hear their schedule's ridiculous. And so I wasn't buying everything I was reading on Twitter and all that until this video turned me around and went, what is really going on here?
I agree. I know that, people were jumping on it. They wanted something to be wrong with her.
Right.
But then when I saw the video, I was like, oh, Jesus.
Hold on, there's the baby again.
Yeah.
Hillary gave the same medical records as Obama and Romney. Stop fucking lying about her! First of all, you fucking zealot with her picture on your Twitter, shut your face. I'm not saying she's lying. I'm saying that all of them should be forced to give up all medical records. And if they don't know exactly what's going on with her, I don't care what Romney gave up. He should be forced to give up everything. Fuck Romney too. Fuck Trump too. All of them should be forced to give up every bit of medical information.
I think when we go down this road, I think when we go down this road, in this case, it means like we're huge Trump supporters, and that's not the case either. You know, we're just pointing this shit out.
Oh, geez,
some people say she has Parkinson's.
If you say anything mildly negative about a candidate, it's always, oh, so you must be, and it's no. I'm just saying. Did you notice this thing?
I come from the school when we were growing up, and it's not the case anymore, unfortunately. If you watch, let's say, Johnny Carson, he made fun of both fucking sides.
Absolutely.
That always was in the back of my head when we do this radio thing. And nowadays, you don't. These guys really don't go after both sides, or they do, but they give the one side much more of a break than the other side.
Feels like
it's very obvious what their agenda is.
It feels like it's more divided now, though.
Have you had Gary Johnson or Jill Stein on the show?
Gary Johnson was in the building the other day. No, we didn't get him.
Was he really?
Yeah.
He was in Washington.
Because
Washington? Oh, sorry, I saw his name on the list.
Okay, because the most press or the most media he's gotten was based on that slip up, which I didn't know what Aleppo was either.
I did not.
So it didn't bother me.
Is that the one where you said, what is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it almost...
Could you explain this to me? Because to this day, I don't know.
Okay, well, he is running he's a libertarian candidate,
I know all
right?
that.
So he should probably know about foreign policy stuff, but he didn't know the city Aleppo, which I don't really care. Like there's bigger issues than that. I mean, I'm sure he would eventually learn about it and be briefed on it, but they caught him on it and he's getting media from it, and I actually think it helps him.
A reporter asked him, what do you think about whatever? And he said, tell me what it is.
Yeah, which is every American is probably, who's not in the know.
We just expect candidates to be better than us.
And the bottom line is, he's actually being honest about something he doesn't know. And of
you
course
get killed
they
for that too.
You can't win.
And then you want these people to be honest, but then when they're honest, then you still beat the shit out of them.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess Hillary's back on the trail tomorrow.
Are they ready yet or not?
I think it'd be cool to have
they're going to tell us
him or Jill Stein on there just to hear what the other candidates that are running are about. They don't get any real radio opportunities, or
well, Stumpbrain says if he could get up to 15%, he's part of the debates.
Really?
And he has an outside shot at getting that 15.
Because I talked about Jill Stein in a couple of interviews, and I noticed she followed me on Twitter, and I was like, she would be a good one to have on the podcast, because anything is whatever. I know people are going to say, oh, well, there's all these different stories that pop up where they try to discredit these smaller candidates, like that she's anti-vaccine, all that stuff. I don't know. I have to learn more about her, but at this point, yeah, we should really be looking into other choices. And Gary Johnson, I don't think just because he doesn't know what Aleppo is doesn't make him a bad choice.
I agree with you.
And Phil Labonte from All That Remains, I had him on my show.
It's a very rational conversation. I agree with you.
Well,
why is the rest of the country not like
that?
Well,
it's better than what I was going to say. I concur.
Yeah. I mean, what else am I going to say? I don't know. Gary Johnson, in the end, doesn't have a shot at this.
Well, get him in the debates. I mean, there's a lot of people that say they would rather not vote. So if those people who don't want to vote at all learn about him and like him better. I mean, it used to be a trade-off where 8 years would be, the Republicans, and then 8 years would be the Democrats. Well, it can't get any worse, right? Like, give someone else another chance.
I would love a third party.
It seems like most people are in agreement that they're both bad choices. That most people say they don't like either choice. It seems. I don't think they're being totally honest, but most people are saying,
I'm one that thinks that.
Yeah.
When you go overseas, every interview, they just want to talk about American politics. It's like in metal magazines, and you're like, well, I'm just a musician. I don't know, but here's my take, my very, unknowledable take. But
Jimmy, when you were in Australia, did you get that too? When did people want to ask you about what's going on in politics?
Nobody wanted to ask me anything.
Well, I was in Germany.
Thanks for bringing it up.
I was in Germany, and someone had read my comments about Jill Stein. I was just saying, well, there is another candidate, and they didn't know. And I guess in Germany they voted. They actually got a Green Party candidate in office in some big office position, over political office position there. So it's in other countries it's worked. And it wasn't that bad. I don't,
Right. And then the other thing, as far as politics go, they leaked some more shit. And Colin Powell called Donald Trump a national disgrace in an email.
Ooh.
So that's getting a lot of coverage today.
Trump's going to be like, I never liked that guy. He's, what did he do?
Was a pussy.
Yeah.
But he got caught.
He's also badmouthed Hillary and a lot of these, calling her HRC and all these about the emails too. So I don't mind, look, they all talk a little shit. They just gossip.
Yeah.
Yeah. An international pariah in a personal email exchange that was leaked online by hackers. Yeah, I still like Powell. I don't care. Well, I wouldn't say Trump's a pariah. Trump's a mirror to how fucking horrible the rest of you guys are. Congratulations.
I know there's a precedent to releasing your personal information.
Sure, Obama.
But is it a legal thing as you run for president? Do you legally have to release?
You should, but I don't think it's...
it's just a precedent. It's just a precedent. Other people...
I think most candidates realize they should. I believe that's how it works.
Okay. But it's not.
And Trump has all sorts of excuses why he can't release his taxes. And
they should.
Now the IRS.
Now people are screaming at the radio. It's not excuses.
Right.
He has said that he's going through an audit, and when the audit is finally done, then he'll release his tax
All
returns.
of them. I don't care what they're doing. If you want to be the president, all of your tax records should be released. All of your fucking medical records should be released across the board. That's it. You should have nothing private if you want that office.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
If you have that much power over all of us, we have the right to know everything about you. And you know that before you go in.
Especially the medical records.
Every single fucking thing.
Especially that.
Your text messages. I want to see photos you've sent. Right. Every fucking thing about you should be public record.
But the medical records, because we don't really, we don't pick the vice president.
No.
That's the candidate going, all right, hey. Huh?
That's right. Who's Hillary's vice president?
Kane.
Bill Sherbert.
Who?
Bill Sherbert. Okay.
No, who is her? Who's
Tim Kaine?
Who's that?
He's Coe's brother. Boo. Fucking boo, Jim.
See, I didn't even know this. I should probably know this.
Tim Kaine. He's I don't know. He's whatever. What am I going to say? Yeah. But we don't pick the vice president, so that's why I think it is important that you get a president that is healthy. Because if he goes, then all of a sudden the one they picked to pump up their ticket becomes your president.
Did you do the tax calculator though? Did you do that thing? I think we talked about it last time.
What is it?
What is it?
That you put in what you make and what candidate you're voting for, and it shows you what you'd pay in taxes under that candidate.
Oh, wow.
I think it's on Vox.com, VOX.com. It's a tax calculator, and I did it, and this was back when, was the Dick Nose guy? What was his,
Cruz.
I just love watching Jimmy scramble for any comic he can think of to fit into a Dick Nose guy.
Cruz, it was when he was still running. If I voted for, he was still in the mix back then, but he had the best tax plan for self-employed entertainers.
Wow. Those guys are ready.
Yeah. Anthrax, Acoustic.
They're ready.
We're going to take a very short break while we walk down the hall. When we're back, Anthrax playing for us acoustically, it looks like. And then Mory Povich on the way. Stay there.
Holy shit, could that break be any longer? Finally, the boys are back.
Makes me wonder. Hey, there's a whisper that's true that we all call the two out of the mind. This is 10.
On? Are we on? No.
That's a good sign. Good times.
I hope we're
Why are you guys in here, anyhow?
I hope we're on right now.
Yeah. We heard the tan one was singing the hit.
Yeah, baby.
Well, fuck. See, you got nothing else but fucking shit to say already. Jamie,
we're on.
You know I gotta break your balls.
Hey,
just keep staring at it.
I think we're on the air.
I think we're on. E-Rock is in the other room panicking. He's giving me 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, so don't say anything you don't want out there.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what's been on the air the last 30 seconds or so, but that's okay. We are in the fishbowl here at Sirius XM with Anthrax.
Wow.
What's going on, guys?
Good.
What's up, man?
Good morning. Bus 2 here.
This is too early for
Jamie,
you
know
guys.
this.
Yeah.
You know how it is. What are we doing?
Jamie, you do a lot of these acoustic shows, don't you?
I'll have this known right now. Jamie's doing all backgrounds tonight.
Out of fairness, you're next, Jamie.
You're next. You're doing Joe Cocker.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah. You guys like doing acoustic, or do you hate it?
We've never done it. Really. You know, this is our first time. This is virgin territory right now.
Come on.
Good times.
Seriously.
For us?
Yeah. You guys are breaking our cherry right now.
Oh, nice.
Wow. Yeah, so thank you for that.
That is awesome.
It's
5 days in a row.
We're rehearsing backstage every night.
And having Slayer come in and make fun of us. It's been great.
It's been terrific.
Say, what the fuck? Can I curse? I don't.
Yeah.
All right, serious, right? They say, what the fuck you guys
We're
doing?
at a 5-day in a row
Like-
shows too, and an early morning. So
It's been a great time.
Up.
So why started touring? So why acoustic then?
Because you
I don't
guys
know,
asked for this.
The label asked us. Oh no, Sirius asked us, right?
Serious. Somebody asked us, why are we doing this? Let's go home.
Let's just name. We don't have to do this.
Really.
Just name the person who's responsible.
So loud. No, it's a unique idea. You never did it before. So I think it's cool.
That's a pretty corporate answer.
It's another weapon in your arsenal.
Bullshit.
That's a
I don't know what's going on.
A crock of shit.
I'm hearing this is going to be one and done then.
Let me tell you something.
Couple acoustic songs and then be done with it.
For All Kings, by the way, is the new CD, and I haven't heard it because we didn't get any event. I think your label said one copy for the whole company just to kind of pass around.
I think Jose stole it.
Yeah, I'm sure it did.
Yeah. You know how you got to get digital.
Times are different now.
I know they could have just sent the link, but
the album rips.
So I haven't heard it, so I don't know.
You're gonna love it. It's great.
Well, you guys have seen Anthrax live though before, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Jamie has.
Not many bands
I think
get
I've seen
better in the later years, and they're one of them that is amazing.
That's why we brought you
stronger
in
than ever. I really believe that.
Thanks, Jamie.
I think I've seen them like 20 times. I owe this band a car.
20 times, really?
Yeah. From the Amongst the Living tour on. And
Amongst
Among the Living. Sorry, Among the Living. Sorry.
Well, are they loud? Or Joey's saying you guys are loud. Good. It's good. It's metal.
It's been 35 years, right?
Yes.
That's crazy. Did you ever think you'd still be doing it 35 years later?
Yes.
Yes.
Always.
We got lots to talk about.
Not at this time in the morning, though.
Acoustic.
Huh?
Yeah, we're in our acoustic phase now. We're old.
Do you think the fans would be disappointed if you went out on stage and just played acoustic and decided?
Yes, they would. I would be disappointed. Are you kidding me? It's the lamest thing. When Pete Townsend started playing that acoustic guitar on stage, for whatever reason, for many years, I was like, I'm not going to see that.
His hearing came back though, apparently.
So
he's back on electric, which is cool.
Of course he is.
He has to, for God's sake.
Dave Matthews can get away with it, and that's it. He's the guy.
Bob Dylan.
Zach Wilde was good acoustic. I saw that. That was really
but what would you rather see?
No, I know, but he had just as big, if not a bigger crowd for the acoustic show or the lighter show with the piano and the acoustic.
Right.
Yeah, it gives a good side of it.
I'd love to see Sabbath acoustic once. That'd be fucking great.
Yeah.
That would be cool. Actually, that's a good idea. I'd like to see that.
Couldn't help me with my mind.
That's Joey.
It was Jamie. That's the only thing you had to offer this morning. Thank you, Jamie.
Jamie, you get 20,000 bonus Delta miles for that one, all right?
Did you guys bump into each other in an airport lounge?
Non-stop.
Oh, he just keeps rubbing it in.
No, that's all bands talk about on tour is their frequent flyer status.
It's all comics talk about too. Who didn't we fuck last night? And what airline are you flying?
Is there a lot of fucking going on in the comic scene?
No.
Like different? Oh, no, nothing.
No, not on my level. There's not. No. Not at all. Not for free.
Anthrax, you guys used to have photo albums of the girls you used to fuck, right?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Deny.
All right.
Making up shit.
I remember seeing some awful shit.
Way to go, Craig.
Where was I?
There were Polaroid albums, but they weren't necessarily the girls that we slept
That was
with.
Shadows Fall.
But the road crew, you guys had pictures of the road crew with the girls?
Yeah, it was the road crew. Yeah. It was
on the road crew. It was the road crew.
It was totally
Daily enjoyment.
I never take pictures of girls I fucked. Their ads are still on Backpage, so why should no need for it.
No need for it.
I think we had 3 volumes of it, actually. It was good. Somebody has those.
Didn't Gene Simmons do that? They said for years he would just take like Polaroids of all the girls.
Gene, tell us.
Actually, if you want to see the pictures, guess what? They're available for $49.95 at kissonline.com.
Well, listen, Demon.
That's a great Paul Stanley.
When Kiss was young, we used to do a lot of crazy things. And I said, listen, I'm on screen right now. I'm going to introduce whatever band. It was just John Bon Jovi right there. Yeah, we used to do a lot of crazy things in the old days, but now I'm married with kids.
Well, let's get right to the point. Anthrax stole a couple songs from Kiss. What are they called?
Then She Kissed Me.
Is that not one of the best covers ever, by the way?
I like that.
Off Love Gun? Fuck, is that good.
And then she kissed me. No, yeah, we're going to go into it. We can do that. We're going to do that later acoustically.
And didn't Gene produce one of the songs on the Parasite? Did he produce that one for you guys?
She
She did.
She, okay.
On the Kiss My Ass thing. Gene and Paul both were in the studio with us.
And how were they to work with?
Great.
They were fun, man.
Yeah.
It was cool. Was it on that or on Love Her All I Can because we covered that too, and Gene and Paul came in the studio with us.
And they did the backgrounds too.
And sang, and they were out in the vocal booth, and they were arguing with each other over who sang which harmony part, which was, as a bunch of fans since we were kids, was lots of fun to watch.
Did you saw them live then when they, I guess in 96, I can't believe it's 20 years ago that they actually came back.
The reunion, yeah.
Yeah.
That's 20 years ago, right?
Yeah, I saw that 10 times back then in 96.
It was fucking great. But it made you feel a little older, right? When you see a band like all of a sudden all these years later, I'm like, fuck man, I'm an adult now. It's kind of creepy.
No, I was still like a 13-year-old crying in the front row.
I'm not saying I didn't weep like a woman. I wept openly. I cried when I saw Sabbath for the first time, too. In like 98 or 99.
Right, when they came back? Yeah. It was amazing.
Do they offer you unsolicited advice when you work with them, Paul and Gene? Aren't they kind of famous for wanting to impart some kind of wisdom on other musicians?
Those guys have always been so amazingly cool with us. We met them in '87 when we played at Castle Donington, the Monsters of Rock show.
Wow.
They showed up just because they were in London doing promo or something, and we met them that night, and about 8-9 months later we were opening for them on Crazy Nights, and we would sit with those dudes in catering and just hound them with questions that we've always wanted to ask, and they couldn't have been more accommodating.
No.
They've just always been amazingly great with us.
What was the question you wanted to ask? I asked Gene a question one time at K-Rock. There's this a song called Going Blind.
Yeah.
And the lyric that was so weird to me was, I'm 93
and you're 16.
And I asked him about that. I'm like, what does that mean? And he's like, he had to get to it. So we're walking down the hallway, and he's just singing the song to me. And he gets to it, he goes, oh, Paul just said that one time, and that was just rhymed. I was like, God damn it. I wanted a great story.
Yeah, good story.
Wanted a real deep
That's how it always is, though. It's always, the truth is always boring.
What did you want to ask them? What was something you really wanted to know?
Oh, my God.
I can't remember.
We literally, down to the minutia of so on Destroyer, your boots looked like this, but then on Love Gun, the eyes changed a little bit.
In the beginning of Detroit Rock City, was that Gene doing the whole voiceover thing, in the beginning? Remember?
Is it or no?
It is Gene. It is Gene.
I didn't know that.
That's it, yes.
I actually thought that might be a real news report. I'm such a naive boy. I just want to believe.
Ask him about the guy who they got to play Ace in Kiss Meets Phantom of the...
Oh, I know. He was a black body double.
We asked about that.
Yeah. You did?
All the stuff we would always hear as kids that were rumors, who played on what record, that... Did Anton Fig really play drums? We're getting into some weird, nerdy Kiss stuff right now, but... Unless that's who's listening, if the audience cares about this.
Kiss Meets the Phantom doesn't hold up as a film, unfortunately.
But the lines did. And hi, it's Sam, right? It's Sam. Hi, Star Child. Yeah. Hi, Demon. That was it. Hi, Demon.
Kiss stories are always the best, man, because they're the most confident guys. I wasn't a confident kid growing up, so I always was in awe of that kind of confidence. And that's how I got the impressions down. I would see interviews. I remember this one was a press conference in Japan, and they said, why is Kiss so amazing? That's the question.
Yeah.
And Paul Stanley said, a lot of bands are envious of Kiss. I'm even envious of Kiss. I was like, wow, that is fucking confidence.
It's great.
I wish I had confidence like that.
One of my favorite times was when you dressed up as Simmons on the Stern Show.
Yeah.
Dude, and Gene did not know how to handle it. It was awesome.
I walked in the middle of his interview and I said, I'm the real Gene Simmons.
He did not.
And you are an imposter. And I can prove it. Because I got a bunch of cheap shit I want to sell you.
And I had a bag full of shit that I had written Kiss logos on.
Awesome.
I had like a New Kids on the Block lunchbox, and I took out a Sharpie and wrote Kiss. That's $50. And thank God he had a sense of humor.
He did. He was laughing.
Gene and Paul have a really great sense of humor about themselves.
We're going on the cruise, Frank, and you got to come.
What cruise?
Kiss cruise.
I wasn't invited.
You are now.
I would love to do. We could do the Kiss
Anthrax
cruise
would love
and
to
do a
do
whole
that.
Kiss cover set.
And do it acoustic.
That's
the
it.
songs
You
that
know
they
what?
don't do.
I don't know if they've booked everybody.
No,
they just
do
booked
that.
me on the Kiss cruise.
We would do a full acoustic Kiss set.
What song would you cover? What do you want to do that they never play?
The Elder in its entirety.
No.
People are very divided about The Elder. Kiss fans are very divided.
Oh, is that a Kiss record?
About The Elder.
God, what song?
We would do
A World Without Heroes.
Yeah, Getaway.
Yeah.
That would be
Getaway.
awesome.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah,
weird seeing Charlie play guitar.
All that stuff from the first 3 albums that they hardly play. That wasn't? No. What were you playing?
Room service.
Room service. Sorry.
Because we're on a boat.
It's
we
early.
Need room service because.
Bonanti killing the game.
But they at least did that live on a Live 2, and they did that in the 77 on tour.
No, room service?
Yeah.
Never.
That's not on a Live 2.
Oh, well, you know what? Ladies' Room I'm thinking of.
Ladies Room.
Yeah. Ladies' Room.
Did Gene ever give you advice about women? Did you see him in his swinging days? Was he still like, you know?
Yeah, when we toured with him in '88,
we have to be really careful with this. We really have to be careful with this.
I can tell you this: I've told stories about him, and people have played the audio for him, and he said, "Well,
it's true. What are you going to do? It's true."
And he doesn't seem to take offense to it, but I mean, everyone knows his past. I mean, even
during the shows though. During the shows.
During the shows, he would.
Yes,
I've heard that.
I was on this side of the stage. Yes,
I've heard people that worked for Kiss say
it was awesome.
It's time to feed the beast, and they would grab a girl out of the crowd, bring her backstage, and Gene during the show.
During the show, and it was an extra long drum solo that night.
Oh my God!
Boom! One time, another member of the band came out zipping his pants up, and was late for his cue.
Really?
I'll put it there.
I'll put it there.
It wasn't Bruce Kulick.
Could have been. I don't know anything.
I love Gene, but his bag must smell pretty bad through God of Thunder.
That's a bad smell, man.
I got one Ace story that a friend of mine worked on that reunion tour and said that Ace showed up with his fiance and said, "Oh, Jimmy, hey, Jimmy, this is my fiance. What's her name?" And she punched him. Yeah. Forgot his fiance.
Did you read the book though? The fucking I think it was either Ace's or Peter's book that had some fucking. Peter was talking about being in a threesome,
and Ace blew me.
That was what he said. He said,
I read that.
That's the greatest thing I've ever heard. I mean, it makes me like the band even more. It's camaraderie.
Somebody sent me a book. A guy who used to work for Ace, he was Ace's assistant, sent me a book, and there was a story in there where him and Ace were hanging out at the Limelight one night, and Ace had been up for several days, and Ace excused himself to go to the bathroom. They're in a VIP lounge at the Limelight. He goes to the bathroom, and he tries to do coke in the bathroom on a toilet dispenser, and he passes out. And then he wakes up, goes back into the bar, and he hangs out for an extra half hour, and then he goes, "I'm going home." And he gets in his car, and he's driving on the LIE, and he wants to do some bumps on the road. He puts on his dome light, and he sees his reflection. Ace had really bad acne, like scars, and he would wear a lot of base makeup. He turns on his dome light, and he has rocks of cocaine and pills stuck to the side of his face from when he passed out on the toilet paper. And he was hanging out in the bar with coke and pills stuck to his face. And he called his assistant and said, "Did you see this?" And he goes, "Everyone was looking at you, and I just wanted to pretend like you meant to do that. I just acted like you meant to do that." Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
I think Ace had a problem with drugs at one point. I hope
Can you do Naked City?
What?
Naked City?
I don't even know that song.
Naked City. That's
yeah,
a
80s
ripper.
Kiss. I was out long before that. I was out.
Animalize.
Out.
Yeah, I think I was too.
Yeah.
No.
Well, that was a good song off of that album. That's one of the few for me. No
as
disrespect.
Kiss fans, do you want to see the 4 guys back together? Do you have any opinion about that?
I do, but I have to shut up.
All right.
I do. I'll say it. I would love to see Ace back in the band.
Yeah.
And this is no hit at all on Peter, but I mean, the last time we saw them with Peter, the tempos were so slow.
A lot of people say that.
You know, and it just wasn't, it wasn't right. It wasn't, so I don't know. It certainly, if they could play the songs the way they were meant to be played, I would love to see it.
And Ace is sober now. He's been sober.
Ace is tearing it up.
So
Ace
is playing amazingly,
I would love to see Ace back.
I wouldn't even mind, even though you know that with Peter, because the drums aren't going to be what they're. I wouldn't care. I would want to see, even if he was just playing the bongos. I'd be like, fuck it, it's those 4. Whatever. Just hang out, just hum. I'm fine.
Give him a tambourine or something.
Yeah, just play that. I'm fucking perfect with that.
I just want the tempos to be right. I hate when things are just dragging so slow. Like, it's like, come on,
Yeah. I probably wouldn't notice like what you guys would. You guys would pick up on things that I would never catch. That like, that was off a little bit.
But I get it. You really have to look at it too. From people want to come down on Gene and Paul, but you really have to look at it from their point of view as well as being the guys that have carried this since day one. And sometimes when you have to deal with people that have a lot of issues, you just don't want to ever go back to that again.
I used to be angry with them for their shitty, what I perceived as being a shitty attitude towards Ace and Peter. But I remember going to an event once that Eddie Trunk set up at the Hammerstein Ballroom for the September that you guys performed at. That, right? And you guys, Ace was part of that show. And I walked into a situation that I just, where I just thought, wow, this is really fucked up that Ace was involved in that night. And I was like, you know what? I get it. He's my mom's age. And I just thought, I wouldn't want my mom fucking doing that,
I didn't know that. Well, what would you want your mom doing that?
But I mean, it's one thing to sit on the sidelines and go, come on, man, I love the band, bring the band back together. But to actually deal with somebody is a completely different thing.
You guys want to play a song? Because I think we're going to run out of time.
Yeah, Mory Povich is going to be here soon.
Sorry.
That's going to be a little strange.
Sorry.
Who's the father?
Yeah, Maury Povich coming in? Is he coming here, actually?
Yeah, we'll have him come right in, because he's scheduled for now.
He's in Connecticut, right?
Yeah, Stanford. He's coming down. Does
his crowd follow him? That's interesting.
That would be wild,
that would be
right?
awesome. I like to see you guys with his crowd. I want to see that happen. That's awesome. What are we doing?
What song you guys going to play?
Kiss. Listen. We're going to do some Kiss songs right now.
Oh, yeah.
Breathing Lightning off of For All Kings.
It's a very large man that entered the room right now. I'm just putting it out there.
Yes.
That's Kenny. Hi, Kenny. Don't kick my ass.
Breathing Lightning?
Yes.
All right.
Are we ready?
Yeah,
go for it. You want to count it?
Ready? All right. 1, 2, 3, and...
much too early.
Yeah, you guys figured it out. That's
I
awesome.
hope you guys feel good about that.
Mory Povich.
Mory! Last thing I expect to hear after an Anthrax song.
I have a paternity test I need you to check out right now.
What's going on, Mory?
Nice to meet you. Gene Simmons is the father of this band.
New York guys.
There you go. You know Anthrax.
Now I do.
Wow.
Jim, how are you?
I'm good, Maury. You look very healthy. You look great.
You don't.
What's going on, Mory?
Good.
Get Mory a mic over here. There we go.
How you been?
We're
How
good.
You look tan, Opie.
I spent the summer fishing. Nice. And relaxing just relaxing.
It's like my son. My son's a commercial tuna fisher.
Surf casting, excuse me.
Oh, excuse me.
For striped bass.
Stripers.
Does he want to fish for a living, though? Like, well, you're Maury's
That's all
son.
he wants.
Oh, all right.
That's all he wants.
Well, if you're going for tuna,
he's the only Manhattan private school elite kid who wants to be a tuna fisherman. Can you imagine? He's got his own boat.
That's pretty cool, though, going for tuna.
100 miles out.
I watch Wicked Tuna. I get it.
They wanted him to be on that show. I said,
really?
Not happening.
It's pretty impressive when they get.
Yeah, no.
How many does he get a week?
Well, this was it was a perfect storm, bad season. No fish, bad weather. But he caught a 1,000-pounder a couple of years ago, along with his buddies. And
wow, every good comic has done the same thing on the road.
We were just telling the story earlier this morning about Gene Simmons catching a 1,000-pounder.
Very good, Jim. You guys are fired today, man.
I was practicing my little retorts in the mirror this morning.
That's good. Opie, how are you? I mean,
I'm good.
Look, we go back a long
time.
Way.
Yeah, Maury's been doing the show forever.
Affair. I mean,
and you're the only one that's not aging.
No,
you're not aging.
I don't know about that.
You don't know about that.
She's
saying it in the background.
The strangest thing about it is that the older I get, the younger my audience. Can you imagine that?
That's a little.
They love you.
You would think they would grow up with you.
You keep a photo album of those chicks, or no? Ever?
I want to tell you something. My show is watched by the strangest people. You know,
us.
Shaq apparently got in touch. He watches the show every day, and he bets with his buddies about who's the father.
Wow. See, that sounds like fun, though.
That sounds like a gambling addiction.
Yeah. And Shaq doesn't have anything to do these days.
No. Does he have a gig? Sports announcing? Sports announcing. Oh, shut up, Jim.
Shaq doesn't have to worry. He can do what he does. I know he does a lot of commercials. I know that.
Yeah, he does
Who's the most
commentary.
surprising fan of your show that you didn't expect to be a fan of your show?
I'll tell you this. I won't name him, but there was an NFL quarterback who said that every single day in the locker room, everybody had my show on. And the coaches are outside blowing their whistles, and they wouldn't go outside until they knew who the father was.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you could say the quarterback. That's a.
Yeah, I mean, it's just entertainment.
No. That's an innocent story.
No.
Not Tom Brady.
I haven't been on that long.
Yeah, Joe Namath. Right before they won the Super Bowl.
How many years?
I'll put it to you this way. George Bush is an old friend of mine, okay?
Yeah.
So
Which
we
one?
used to play the 43. So we played golf every year before he was president for 25 years, and I've known him since he was a wildcatter. So he invites me to lunch at the White House one time, and so I go down there, and he says, he's got nicknames for everybody. He says, Poe. He says, I'm on the treadmill, I'm flipping through the channels, and I'm watching your show. How do you do that with a straight face? And I said, Mr. President, think of all the things you have to do every day with a straight face.
Right, there you go.
That's an odd collection of friends, though. Mory Povich and George Bush. Like, you wouldn't
I know. We played golf we had about 12 of us who played the week after Labor Day for 25 years.
Is he good? What's his handicap?
I'd say he's probably better. First of all, the one great thing I like about him is that when he was president after 9/11, never played another round his entire presidency because
with you.
No, than anybody, because he felt he did not with
it would look bad.
Troops in harm's way. He did not want to.
Right, that makes sense.
Be out playing golf.
And then I'd say he's probably about a high single digit, 8 or 9 handicap.
No kidding.
He plays fast. He's really good, very competitive.
Right.
And so's Obama. I know some people who play with Obama. I've never played with him, and he's very competitive.
Right.
He trash talks. Obama does on the course.
Even as his friend, did you ever disagree with his politics?
Sure.
Yeah.
And that was fine. He knew it. I mean, I was never all in with what he represented, but at the same time, I loved his sense of decency. And he was a very honest person and a very loyal guy.
He seems like he's a nice guy. Personally.
Yeah, he is.
What about the guys in Anthrax? You ever disagree with the politics of being in a band with Scott?
We were very good friends with Ed Koch.
Yeah. Were you really?
No.
I walk into everything. I fucking walk into everything.
That's all right. I was Gary Gullible. I'm like, really? I was happy to.
They were tight with Tim. Well, how about look, you all are New Yorkers. You like the current mayor?
Who's mayor?
De Blasio.
I don't consider him.
He's moved on.
I thought Bloomberg was still mayor. That's where I'm at.
A lot of us wanted Bloomberg still be mayor.
I agree with you on that one, Maury. What do you think of the election? Trump
it's
crazy, right?
It's ridiculous.
This is one of the crazier ones.
It's the most, mind-blowing thing. I mean, every day I hold my nose and just pray so there be some divine intervention.
I do that before oral sex.
You ever play with Trump? Golf with Trump?
Yes, I have.
Well, wait, what was the question? You ever what?
Did you ever golf with Trump?
Golf with Trump. Oh.
Yeah, I have.
You regret it.
Let's just leave it there. No, actually,
he's not that good.
He's been he's pretty good.
What's his handicap?
Well, it depends on what he's
20-something. 20-something.
No. He's
Okay.
I'd say he's probably a 5 or 6 handicap.
Damn.
Has he ever cheated?
I've played with. I won't answer that question.
That's where that.
But I know. I'll say one thing. I've played his course in Scotland. The one in Aberdeen, it is spectacular.
The controversial one that everyone's is that the one you're talking about? Is that the one in Scotland?
They have a name for him in Scotland.
What is it?
Cunt. That's true. I know we have a lot of Scottish friends. They do not like
but
him.
But the course in Aberdeen...
Scotty will be opening for Jim Norton this weekend in Minneapolis.
But Donald, I was paired with him at the AT&T at Pebble Beach a couple of times. And we've I've played with him in Vegas, and I've played with him... and I played his course at Doral, and he's got some great golf courses. Let's just leave it at that.
Have you ever played with Tiger? Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
I have played with Tiger many years ago when he first came out. I played with him at the National Golf Links on Long Island with his father.
Did he test with Tiger Woods?
I want to tell you something. That you talk about mind-blowing situations. That blew my mind. I never expected that. And I always said of all the celebrities I've ever met, the guy who flew under the radar the most was Tiger. You never knew where he was from Sunday night till Thursday morning. And
well, now we know.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And even after he got busted, and even after that whole thing became public, I know people that work with a band that was doing a show in Florida, and he was still they set him up because they knew he was coming to the show. They gave him his own dressing room as a guest of the show, and they said you can have anybody in this room that you want. And he borrowed the security guy for the band, and he walked out and said, let's get that blonde, get that chick. After everything was going on, he was still like that.
Good for
crazy.
him. Good for him.
Yeah.
Nickelback.
Of course. How'd you know that?
Because everyone knows Tiger Woods loves Nickelback.
Wow. That was it. Nickelback.
All I can tell you is
maybe not everyone knows.
My favorite sport, golf, misses him terribly.
Yeah, I agree.
And he's going to try, I think, in the fall to come back. We'll see.
Supposedly it's a nerve thing, so he's fucked.
Jimmy, do you miss him in the meetings at all? Sorry.
All
right, forget. All right, thanks, Craig Gass, everybody. I'm out of here.
Oh, come on. Don't
you want to hear a song?
Sure.
This is Anthrax.
They're playing acoustic for the first time. That was, by the way, fucking amazing.
That was an amazing song.
That was really great. Your voice is phenomenal.
Maury blew up your spot. He comes walking in right after that.
Well, what am I supposed to do?
No, it's great.
You blew up their spot, though.
Right now. He wants to play
Maury, do you want to sing, Maury? Do you play an instrument? You want to sing Caught in a Mosh?
No, Maury, not doing that. No.
Do you know Cry for the Indians?
No, I was afraid you should do that.
Indians.
What are you promoting, Maury? Your show?
My show starts a new season starting Monday.
Oh, good for you.
Hey. 19th season.
19th season
for this go round.
This little show.
7 others before with Paramount, so it's 26 altogether.
That's amazing. And what network?
NBC owns my show, but I'm on Channel 11 in New York twice a day. And all across the country, usually twice a day. They can't even take me once. They got to take me twice. But it's been great. Awesome. Opie, you've been on the air as long as I have, for crying out loud.
A long time. Since I was 18.
How long?
30 plus years, yeah.
Because I can remember when I did A Current Affair in the 80s.
Wow.
And you and your buddy had me on.
In the 80s?
Like, how about early 90s?
Me and Anthony started in 94.
Oh, 94. Okay, so it was my first talk show.
Yeah, that was probably about right. That's probably about when we met.
Yeah.
Yeah, BAB days, and then Boston, and then New York, all over the fucking place.
How was Boston?
I love Boston.
Oh, did you ever try the seafood?
You know something? It's the only town I know. It's the only big city I never
We can talk
worked.
about this stuff in the hallway, Maury. We got these guys playing acoustic for the first time ever. And you want to know
You've never played acoustic before?
No.
No, not really. We
And they just crushed it.
Week. That's about it.
And they just crushed it.
This could be an album in the making.
This could be another.
This could totally have been a B-side. That was that good. Nobody's got pipes like Belladonna.
I thought you meant the conversation with Mory. That would be a B-side.
That would be awesome.
All right, guys, go ahead.
You can hang out.
Yeah, hang out, Maury.
Trust me.
All right.
E-Rock, what were you hustling, everybody?
Yeah, let's get Mory a seat.
Oh, we only have 10 minutes? All
10
right.
minutes. They're going to do 2 more songs.
This is fun.
Oh, we don't lose the studio at 10:30.
No,
What?
we'll have a few extra minutes.
What's
right?
that?
Can you guys squeeze out 2 more songs, maybe, or what?
Whatever you guys want.
Yeah,
Let's try to squeeze out 2 more songs before they kick us out of here.
We got a special one.
Monster next.
I guess. Unless you want to do the other one. No,
We'll do another one from our record, Monster in the End.
Yeah.
Cool. You can hear this on Ozzy's Boneyard in Liquid Metal.
Wait, I think Maury hit my tuning peg. Hold on.
No offense.
Kid?
Oh, yeah.
No offense.
Oh, yeah, I was way out.
Yeah, see? It's good to check.
Nothing like tuning on the air.
Are we on air?
Yes.
Oh, my God. Oops. Oh. It's just so loose here. Just so loose. I love it.
Who's got that laser pointer?
Who's got that laser pointer?
Opie, do you know that video?
We watched it today.
You watched the laser pointer? Oh.
Yeah.
It's a classic.
Say, Paul, with that you got in your pants. We can just keep going
Listen
on.
up, buddy. I'm going to take that. I'm going to shove it up your ass.
People.
All right, you ready?
What are we doing?
Orange juice and vodka. Monster.
I just want to hang out and jam. Not this.
It's a monster at the end. You promise you'll get what you want instead of getting what you need. This ain't just another dream. It's a monster at the end. Down and under where the devil ride it. Down and under where you pay. Your golden halo is burning, melted. Crown the monster at the end. You want to sleep but crumbling. It's your conscience is left mumbling. A master secret serpent in the coil and away. In this place is some retail. The sons were yours, no angel fell. The monster hiding in plain sight with the monster at the end. Down and under where the devil ride it. Down and under where you pay. Your golden halo burned and melted. Crown the monster at the
Bravo. What do you think, Maury?
They can go on the
We
road,
don't even know what's going to happen.
They're doing all right, huh?
It's so foreign, right?
Yeah, this is about 12 hours before we're supposed to be playing right now.
It's weird to see Frankie and Scott
Tonight we're
sitting
off.
down.
I know we never sit
We're
down.
5 in a row right
we
now,
never
too.
do this.
We've done
This is very rare
5
for
shows
us.
in a row, and we woke up.
Yeah.
And you said it's hard for you to play like
Yeah, it's
acoustic.
just
This is so foreign.
harder than.
You guys are killing it, though. It's amazing.
Well, thank
Not
you.
used to it. The neck is different. It's all different.
I'm so used to seeing Scott moshing on stage, like in a circle and doing that monster thing, and seeing him like sitting in place is just so crazy.
Listen, we're going to lose the studio, and I know you guys want to do one more. They're panicking in there.
And the studio, we got to promote For All Kings. For All Kings is the new
Should we just nod? Or?
CD.
No, you got to do it.
Let's do it, then.
If we get right into it, we could probably do it.
What do you guys want to do?
We'll try it. We
cover?
try it. Yeah, we've been. Excuse me. We've been messing around with "Comfortably Numb."
Oh wow!
We stumbled on it.
Which was originally written by Kiss. True story.
You know, when I wrote these lyrics a long time ago, I said, Gene, we need to have a feeling song. Well, let me tell you something, Paul. As long as the money's there, I'll do it. Are we doing this song, really?
Yeah.
All right, should we try it?
Absolutely, man.
110.
I'm going to come right in, all right?
Okay.
Okay, let's go. Ready? 1, 2.
Hello, is there anybody out there? Just not if you can hear me. Is there anyone home? Come on now. Are you feeling down? I can ease your pain. Get on your feet again. Relax, relax. I need some information first. Just the basic facts. Can you show me where it hurts? There is no pain, you are receding. A distant ship, smoke on the horizon. You're only coming through in waves. Your lips move, but I can't hear what you're saying. But I was a child, a kind of fever. My hands felt just like 2 balloons. Now I've got this feeling once again. I can't explain, you will not understand. It's not who I am. Anybody out there?
That was awesome.
Johnny Rock and Roll.
Johnny.
Great, Johnny.
Wow. All right, we got to wrap up.
They want us out. They want us out.
They want us out.
They have this room at 10:30, I guess. But the new CD for All Kings, it's available now. Anthrax.com. And where are you guys tonight?
We're going to see AC/DC.
At the Garden.
Yes.
Yeah, at the Garden tonight.
Tomorrow night, we're at the Stage AE in Pittsburgh. You can check out all the tour dates at Anthrax.com.
And then we do the benefit show.
Oh, yeah, Friday
For
night.
Gilda's Club,
And
yeah.
maybe.
Okay.
In a small room, right?
We're
Friday
doing
night?
St. Vitus in Brooklyn. You can't get tickets, but we'll be there Friday night.
Okay.
Just know it's there.
Right on. That was awesome. We really enjoyed that.
Awesome. And Mory, Mory show.
Yeah, Mory, what do you got, buddy?
My show's on every day. New season, Monday the 19th.
No, I was there.
Mory, you got to come back for a longer visit now. We haven't even done anything.
Anytime.
All right, we'll figure that out. Jamey Jasta from Hatebreed, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Any plugs for anybody that really...
HateBreedVIP.com if you want to check it out.
JimNorton.com.
I'll be at the New York Comedy Club confronting my troll on Sunday night. Tickets for the 7 p.m. show at New York Comedy Club. All the other dates at Minneapolis and Tempe coming up at getgas.com. Get gas with 2 S's.
Once again, Anthrax. Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you guys.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Amazing.
Thank you very much.
See you tomorrow.